If you like the story, you can support the author on Patreon. Link is in the description.
Chapter 116, Manton's Death. With Soma receiving the mission, a scene unfolded before the four of them. On a mountain stood hideous creature. Fat and short in stature. Bald, with only 3 hairs standing upright at the center of its head. It has a small short braid at the back of the head and a huge mouth that was sharp and long with jagged teeth. In the scene, this monster viciously killed a fox that could walk upright like a human, not only eating its flesh but also stripping off its fur to use as a scarf. Then, it grabbed several human girls. It drained the blood from these human girls alive, drinking it while applying it on its bald head, seemingly trying to treat its baldness in this manner. It also combined other herbs to make medicine. Facing the human's attack, it opened its big mouth. A burst of lightning roared out. Instantly, the humans in front were all killed by a single blow. The scene disappeared. Soma, is this the client for this mission? Ao hesitated for a moment. The style of Manton is completely different from the clients Ao has encountered in the mission before. Whether it's Bluebell or Zenon Mai, they are not bad people. One is trapped in a dark family and just wants to save her sister. The other just wants her brother to see her win the swimming championship to make up for regrets. But this time, Manton in the scene is an extremely brutal monster. Even though Ao, as a ninja, has killed many people. But the existence of a monster like Manton, who massacres girls, also makes Ao uncomfortable. And what would be the task of such a monster? No. Soma shook his head. He is not the client, he is the target of our mission this time. K*ling him will complete the mission. K*ll the target. Third Mizukage looked up. The target is on that mountain ahead, right? From the scene just now, it's evident that the monster not only has a body far beyond humans, immense strength and incredible speed, but it can also use lightning release attacks. That power is probably stronger than Rega's lightning release. Ao also looked towards the mountain ahead. Byakugan. The next moment, Ao saw the situation at the mountaintop. Ao's vision penetrated through the trees, rocks, flowers, insects. Suddenly, Ao's expression turned ugly. Ao senpai, what's the situation? That monster is grabbing a few people and eating them. Ao had seen many K*lings. But witnessing scenes of cannibalism like this was a first for Ao. Immediately, Ao felt a strong sense of discomfort. Besides that monster, there's another person, but this person doesn't seem to be captured by the monster. It seems more like they are together, and the monster shows a lot of respect for this person. Soma knew who Ao was referring to. Manton, a half-demon. Like Inuyasha, he also has an elder brother. Named Hiten. However, unlike Sesshomaru, Hiten is also a half-demon. But Hiten inherited the appearance of his human father, while Manton inherited the appearance of his thunder beast mother. Therefore, Hiten looks human. Manton looks like a monster. Among these brothers, the distribution of talents is quite unfair. Hiten inherited better looks and better talents. Manton has an ugly appearance and inferior talents. It could be said that all the advantages went to Hiten, while all the disadvantages went to Manton. But this is from the perspective of human aesthetics. If viewed from the perspective of Thunder Beast's aesthetics, then Manton cannot be considered ugly. Furthermore, Manton can fly, while Hiten cannot and needs to rely on props. This is also an advantage for Manton. That human has a similar aura to that monster. At this moment, Hiten on the mountain seemed to sense something. He involuntarily looked down the mountain. Ao was suddenly startled and quickly cancelled the Byakugan. That human seems to have noticed me. At the mountaintop, Manton noticed Hiten's gaze, looked up with blood around his mouth, and seemed a bit confused. Brother, what's wrong? Nothing. Hiten shook his head. Maybe it's just my imagination. As he spoke, he fetched a piece of cloth from the side and wiped the dirty part of Manton's mouth clean. Brother, thank you. Down the mountain. Third Mizukage looked at Ao and asked. Ao, with your Byakugan, can you tell the approximate strength of that monster and the human? Ao shook their head. Reporting to Mizukage-sama, I cannot discern it. The energy emanating from them is not chakra, but I can sense that both of their strengths are definitely not weak. Soma said, Mizukage-sama, based on what was shown in the previous scene, this monster is likely to descend from the mountain to plunder humans, but the human is not present in the scene. This means they might split up. With our lack of understanding of their strengths, I think it would be better for us to wait for an opportunity when the monster is alone. Third Mizukage hesitated for a moment. But what about the time? Soma, Ao, and Data all had no issues with time. But the third Mizukage was different. As the Mizukage, especially during wartime, third Mizukage had an endless list of tasks to attend to. Moreover, some matters must be dealt with promptly. If not addressed in a timely manner, they could lead to serious consequences. Mizukage-sama, perhaps we can lure them out, Ao suggested. When I used the Byakugan to observe the human before, it seemed like he noticed. If I use it again, he will surely come to investigate. I can lead him away. Third Mizukage frowned slightly. For you, Ao, this is too dangerous. Instinctively, third Mizukage glanced at Data. Among the four, third Mizukage felt that if someone needed to lure the human away, Data was the most suitable choice. Third Mizukage's concern wasn't personal relationships but their importance to the Hidden Mist Village. Soma naturally understood that there could be no mishaps. As the Mizukage, any trouble would have a significant impact on the Hidden Mist Village. This can be seen from the situation in the Hidden Sand Village. When third Kazekage disappeared, the situation in the Hidden Sand Village instantly became chaotic, and the overall strength of the entire village declined significantly, and it has not recovered until now. Ao, on the other hand, is the only one in the Hidden Mist Village who possesses the Byakugan. He might even be the only Byakugan user in the future of the Hidden Mist Village. Only Data is a regular elite ninja. Data immediately understood third Mizukage's intention. Ao senpai, let me do it. I'll take responsibility for luring away that human. Data didn't hesitate. Even though he knew it was very dangerous. But when he chose to become an ANBU ninja before, Data never cared about his own life. Now, as one of the squad captains of the Forge Department's guard team, Data is willing to sacrifice himself. That's Data's determination. Data also knows that this is the best choice for the current situation. Third Mizukage patted Data's shoulder. Data, I'm counting on you. If you can't return this time, I'll ensure your family receives the proper treatment. Hidden Mist Village will remember your name. Data nodded heavily. Mizukage-sama, I promise to complete the mission. Soma took out some explosive tags from his pocket. Squad Captain Data, these are for you. Thank you, Minister Sama. The four of them began to move. Instead of heading directly up the mountain, they first searched for water sources in the surroundings. Data was also a water release ninja, and in places with plenty of water, he could demonstrate greater strength. If there was enough water, even facing stronger opponents, he could still have some means of survival. There's a lake here. And it has lot of water. If you dive into the lake, unless the opponent has corresponding means, Squad Captain Data, if you hide at the bottom of the lake, it won't be easy for them to harm you. If the opponent has formidable attacking capabilities, you can blast this side open, Soma said. That way, the lake water here will surge out, disrupting their judgment. Whether you use water mist jutsu or water clone jutsu, there's room for maneuvering. Data nodded. Then he looked at Soma and the other two. Mizukage-sama, Ao senpai, Chief, I'm ready. Let's begin our operation, he said. Soma and third Mizukage left first. Ao, on the other hand, looked towards the mountaintop and activated the Byakugan once more. Hiten seemed to sense it again, furrowing his brow as if feeling someone watching him from afar. Data, just at that moment, Data took out an explosive tag and threw it towards the lakeside not far away. Boom! Hiten not only sensed someone secretly watching him but also heard the explosion. He immediately confirmed that invaders had come up the mountain and promptly stood up. Brother! Manton, stay here. I'll go check and be back soon. Manton nodded. All right. On his own territory, Manton didn't think there would be any danger. Moreover, Manton was confident in Hiten's strength and didn't believe anyone could harm his brother. The human is coming this way, Data. Be careful on your own. I'll go join Mizukage-sama and Soma. Okay. Hiten arrived very quickly. When Data didn't see him, he thought Hiten didn't have chakra, so he couldn't sense his strength. But when he saw Hiten clearly, Data suddenly felt a strong sense of danger. I'm definitely not a match for him. I will die if I fight him directly. Data didn't dare to hesitate. Water release, water dragon bullet jutsu. Before Hiten approached, Data had already completed the hand seals. A water dragon, with its head held high, rushed towards Hiten. Hiten saw Data below and frowned. Human. Then he looked at the water dragon. What is this? Shikigami. No, it doesn't look like it. Hiten snorted coldly. I don't know what method you're using, but coming here to provoke me, you've chosen the wrong person. I will use the cruelest method to K*LLU. A long spear was taken out by Hiten. Two wheels rapidly spun under Hiten's feet. Hiten held the long spear, pointing it towards the direction of the water dragon, and a bolt of lightning suddenly struck out. Boom! Data's water dragon shattered in mid-air. Water release, hiding in mist jutsu. A large amount of water mist appeared around Data, covering the entire nearby area. Water mist. Now you're thinking of hiding. I thought someone daring to provoke actively would be formidable. You've disappointed me too much. Thinking a mere water mist can conceal the dirty aura on you. Hiten didn't hesitate and directly rushed into the water mist. However, before this, Data had already submerged into the depths of the lake. After Hiten realized this, he followed suit and dove into the water. A water clone of Data lured Hiten to the edge of the lake. Then, it triggered over a dozen explosive tags buried there in advance. Boom! Accompanied by a huge explosion. Hiten's pupils contracted, quickly retreating. However, a significant impact still landed on Hiten's body. Simultaneously, the lake shore crumbled. A large amount of lake water surged out. Hiten saw Data following the water downstream and was furious to the extreme. Damn humans! Hiten's figure soared into the sky. The previous attack didn't cause substantial harm to Hiten, but it left him somewhat embarrassed. This made Hiten feel ashamed. As a mighty half-demon, he suffered such a setback at the hands of a human. It was truly humiliating. No escape. On the other side, upon hearing the explosions of over a dozen explosive tags, Manton sensed something was wrong. He quickly dropped the human arm he was gnawing on and rushed out to check the situation. And at that moment, water release, water whip. Soma formed seals. Immediately, a water whip lashed out towards Manton. Manton, caught off guard by the ambush, didn't react in time and was ensnared by Soma's water whip. Before he could struggle, third Mizukage's ninjutsu came into play. Water release, water prison jutsu. Instantly, Manton found himself trapped within a water sphere. A violent burst of lightning erupted from Manton's body. In an instant, third Mizukage's water prison jutsu was shattered. Manton broke free from the prison and Soma's pupils contracted. A demon is this powerful. It's worth noting that Zabuza's water prison jutsu could firmly trap Kakashi. Third Mizukage's water prison jutsu surpassed even Zabuza's. Yet Manton managed to break free so easily. Is this the power of a demon? However, the preparations made by Soma and the others were not just limited to this. Water release, water formation pillar jutsu. Water release, water formation pillar jutsu. Soma and Ao simultaneously unleashed this highly powerful ninjutsu. Even someone like Manton, with a half-demon physique, couldn't escape unscathed. Boom! Boom! It was as if two giant iron hammers were crashing down directly. Manton had just escaped from the water prison jutsu when he encountered this heavy blow. Even the ground beneath his feet sank considerably. Ao stared intently at Manton. Still not seriously injured after that? Your resilience must be quite something. Soma was equally surprised. Despite the fact that a demon's body is much tougher than a human's, the water formation pillar jutsu is not a simple ninjutsu. Yet Manton managed to withstand it. Even an ordinary cage-level ninja would struggle to withstand two water formation pillar jutsu attacks at once. Instead, he would choose to dodge. But it's not over yet. Soma never expected a lethal attack from water release. What he hoped for was a ninjato. Third Mizukage's attack arrived. A large amount of chakra was all poured into the skeleton emperor. Third Mizukage wielded his axe and swung it fiercely towards Manton's direction. Clang! It struck Manton's body, producing a sound similar to metal colliding as it fell directly on Manton's head. That sound was the collision between Manton's skull and the axe blade. Manton raised his head, eyes filled with malice. You humans! Don't touch my head! You're all going to die! Before he finished speaking, Manton's mouth widened, aiming towards where Soma and Ao were. Powerful lightning gathered within. However, at this moment, Manton's expression suddenly changed. because the ability of the Skeleton Emperor had taken effect. The power of decay, in the instant the Skeleton Emperor descended, decay spread along the wound. Even though Manton was a monster. Even though Manton's lifespan was much longer than that of a human. But, he couldn't withstand the power of aging either. In such close proximity, Manton's half-demon body couldn't resist the power of the Skeleton Emperor. It could be seen that Manton's skin, at a visible speed, began to wrinkle. Numerous age spots appeared on it. Eyes, nose, mouth, ears. The 3 hairs on top of his head fell directly, and the hair on the back of his head also fell out. Manton felt that he couldn't control his own body. It was as if something was depriving him of his strength. A sense of fear surged within him. What's going on? Big brother! Save me! Big brother, I'm scared! Under the influence of the Skeleton Emperor's ability, Manton's head had already entered an elderly state, while his body still appeared young. However, with the passage of time, the power of decay would continue to spread. Water release, water whip. A water whip entangled Manton. Already in a panic and unable to control his body due to the fear of the physical changes, Manton found it even more difficult to move. Water release, water fang blade jutsu. In Soma's hand, water condensed into the shape of a blade and aimed towards Manton's decaying head. Splurt! A wound appeared, and blood gushed out. Manton's aging speed suddenly increased. His entire head began to wither. Hiten could no longer tolerate Data's evasion, which irritated him greatly. Moreover, Hiten could faintly sense that Data was doing this deliberately, having prepared in advance. Data never intended to defeat him but aimed to buy time. Instinctively looking back, Hiten's heart skipped a beat. Could it be that there are others? Are they targeting Manton? In an instant, Hiten panicked and quickly turned to head towards the mountain's peak. Seeing this, Data hurriedly emerged from hiding. Water release, water fang bullet jutsu. A barrage of water fang bullets shot towards Hiten. Hiten frowned, worried about Manton, and ignored the attack. However, Data's assault grew fiercer, as if he was willing to sacrifice his life to restrain Hiten, completely disregarding his own safety. Hiten's expression turned cold. Now, Hiten was even more certain that Manton was being targeted. Courting death. Hiten raised the lightning blade high. In the next moment, lightning flashed, and as he ascended into the air, it burst out, enveloping the entire surrounding area. This time, Hiten held nothing back. Data could clearly feel the immense oppressive force of the demon energy emanating from Hiten. The full-scale lightning strike left Data with no chance to evade. A bolt of lightning struck Data directly. Boom! Data's body stiffened, convulsed briefly, and then collapsed, unable to move. A wisp of black smoke rose from Data's body. Hiten, moving at his fastest speed, headed back to the mountain's peak. Not good, that human is returning, Ao warned, using his Byakugan to spot Hiten rushing back. Soma glanced at the Skeleton Emperor on top of Manton's head. The efficiency of the aging process left Soma somewhat disappointed. Soma wasn't sure if it was due to the third Mizukage's insufficient talent and SK*LL to fully utilize the Skeleton Emperor's power, or if Manton's half-demon longevity provided too much resistance to the power of decay. Otherwise, Manton should have been dead by now. From a distance, Hiten could already see Manton under attack. Big brother! Manton also seemed to sense Hiten's presence. Save me! Hiten's eyes widened with fury. In an instant, his anger surged to the extreme, wishing he could K*LL Soma and the others immediately. Soma's eyes flickered. Just dealing with Manton had already been so difficult for the 3 of them, and that was with the advantage of a sneak attack. Hiten was even stronger than Manton. If Hiten managed to join the fight, the 3 of them would surely be defeated. Water release, water fang blade jutsu. Soma attacked with full force, putting all his chakra into this strike, aiming at Manton's neck which had already been corroded by the power of decay. Crack! Accompanied by a crisp sound, Manton's head was completely severed from his body. His eyes widened in disbelief, and his body convulsed involuntarily as blood spurted out. Right at that moment, a voice echoed in Soma's mind. Chapter 117, Hojiki Clan, using Soma as a stepping stone. Congratulations to the host for completing the mission. Would you like to leave the dungeon instance? Leave. Soma did not hesitate at all. Manton! Hiten roared angrily. An even stronger lightning strike than the one when Hiten attacked Data, suddenly struck down. However, before the lightning struck, the figures of Soma and the other two had already disappeared. Hiten's lightning could only hit the ground and Manton's corpse. Hiten was extremely furious. His eyes were blood red. He didn't care about humans, other monsters, or the Thunder Beast. But for Manton, his blood-related brother, Hiten was extremely concerned. Humans, I will never forgive you. No matter where you hide, I will k*ll you all. Soma and the other three returned to Forging Island. Soma, is the mission completed? Third Mizukage asked. It's completed, Mizukage-sama, thank you for your assistance. Otherwise, with my own strength, it would have been nearly impossible to complete this mission. Third Mizukage waved his hand. It's good that it's completed. As for thanks, Soma, you don't need to say it. Forging the ninjato is also for the village. It's getting late, and I have other matters to attend to, so I'll head to the Mizukage's building. After saying this, Third Mizukage left. At this moment, Soma and Ao noticed that Data, who had returned to Forging Island, was in a very bad condition. Even standing seemed like a luxury for him. He looked very disheveled. Squad Captain Data, how are you? I was hit by that guy's lightning, but it shouldn't be life-threatening. Data took a breath and said. Soma quickly turned to Ao. Ao-senpai, please have someone take Squad Captain Data to the medical department. Okay. Ao soon called in 2 members of the guard squad. Before long, only Soma remained in the empty forging room looking at the materials in front of him. There were 4 in total. A piece of metal, a piece of bone, a long piece of wood, and a small spherical object emitting an unusual color, like a gemstone. Soma picked up the sphere and could clearly feel the power of lightning within it. This thing, could it be a part of Manton's body? Just like how water dragon possession uses organs from dangerous creatures. Is this lightning blade using organs from the Thunder Beast as a power source? Soma infused chakra into it. A burst of lightning emerged. Moreover, after the lightning emerged, when Soma stopped infusing chakra, the small sphere began absorbing energy from its surroundings, replenishing the energy it had lost. Soma's eyes lit up. It not only contains the power of lightning but can also replenish itself after being consumed. Doesn't this mean that the lightning blade inherently has a strong, sustained lightning attack capability? If that's the case, it would be even stronger than the water dragon possession. The water dragon possession only enhances the user's ability to control water. It doesn't provide energy on its own. The strength of the attack depends entirely on the user's chakra. In other words, it only improves a ninja's techniques. It doesn't enhance a ninja's basic attributes. But the lightning blade is different. It comes with its own energy. This essentially enhances a ninja's basic attributes. This long piece of wood is the material for making the spear shaft. It's very tough wood. And it can insulate against lightning. This means that a non-lightning release ninja can use the lightning blade without worrying about harming themselves in the process. It's quite different from the ninja tools I've forged before. I need to perform some simulations and test forging. Soma walked out of the forging room and returned to his house, sitting on the recliner at the door. Sunlight spilled down. I wonder who will be compatible with the lightning blade. This situation is different from before. The previous ninja tools had specific task commissioners, so besides the attributes, the commissioner's approval was needed. The overall compatibility depended on both factors. But this time, there is no specific task commissioner. This time, it's a subjugation task. It's like k*ling monsters to obtain materials. When he first obtained the Blacksmith System, Soma thought that the dungeon instance was just about k*ling monsters to get materials. When Akame appeared, he realized it wasn't like that. But this time, it was. Without the approval of a task commissioner, will it purely be based on attributes? For lightning release, within the Hidden Mist Village, Kurosuke Riga and Ame Arai Ringo are the best. Ame Arai Ringo's lightning release talent surpasses Kurosuke Riga. However, Ame Arai Ringo also has a problem, which is her young age. Being young means she can't go to the battlefield. Even if she does, she won't be able to handle opponents too powerful, so her ability to help me gain reputation won't be as great. Kurosuke Riga, on the other hand, is different. He is an elite jonin. If he gets the lightning blade, his basic attributes will take a significant step forward. In that case, Kurosuke Riga's strength will also undergo a qualitative change. It can bring me a lot of reputation feedback. Before long, 2 members of the guard squad returned. Chief Uehara. How is Squad Captain Data's condition? Chief Uehara, Squad Captain Data is not in life-threatening condition, but his entire body is severely burned by lightning, requiring surgery. Additionally, there are multiple internal injuries. He'll need some time under care. I understand. Soma glanced in the direction of the medical department in the distance. Data is indeed a ninja worthy of respect. He can sacrifice himself without hesitation. Even when he is seriously injured, he doesn't complain at all. Soma couldn't help but think of a Konoha ninja from the original storyline. Gecko Heiate. A genius of the Gecko clan. At a young age, he became a special jonin. SK*LLED in Kenjutsu. He also possessed a special Kekkei Genkai, transparence release. However, during the execution of missions, he was injured and never fully recovered. He was in a chronic state of illness. According to reason, the Gecko clan is a ninja family, albeit a small one, but with considerable assets. And Gecko Heiate was a genius before, so the income from his missions certainly wouldn't be low. At least higher than that of a chunin like Irika. For such a ninja, before recovering from a serious illness, he should prioritize treatment and recovery under great care rather than continue to carry out missions. However, Gecko Heiate had no choice but to work while ill. He worked while coughing, sometimes even coughing up blood. He was busy even in the middle of the night. Soma found it hard to believe it was solely out of love for the job, rather than for money. Gecko Heiate was not someone obsessed with work. A person with an intimate lover couldn't possibly be obsessed with work to the point of working while seriously ill. For a genius ninja who had made significant contributions to the village, once injured, this was the result. To Soma, it seemed unfairly harsh. If all severely injured ninjas are treated like this, they will inevitably resent the village. It's no wonder there are rogue ninjas. Konoha might handle it a bit better. For example, Gecko Heiate was assigned relatively simple and easy tasks. Hidden Mist Village, on the other hand, doesn't prioritize this. I can't change Hidden Mist Village, but at least the forging department is under my command. I can improve their situation a bit. Soma decided to allocate a portion of the forging department's income. At the same time, he would deduct a portion from the earnings of forging department members. Both amounts would be used to establish a fund. Members participating in this fund would receive assistance if they encountered situations such as serious illness, severe injury, or loss of ability to continue working. As for the members of the forging department who are unwilling to participate, Soma will not force them. After all, those who are too selfish and short-sighted are not qualified to receive Soma's help. Once Data returns from recovery, we can start arranging. Hojiki Island. A member of the Hojiki clan was selected. Hojiki Kazuhiko looked at Izumo in front of him. Hojiki Izumo. Clan head. Hojiki Kazuhiko handed thunder swords to Hojiki Izumo. I entrust thunder swords to you. In a few days, I will arrange for you to go to the battlefield. I hope you can fully unleash the power of thunder swords and surpass Kurosuke Reiga and Kagaya Hikari. With thunder swords, rebuild the glory of our Hojiki clan. Let the world know that the Hojiki 7 ninja swords are no weaker than Zanpakuto. The Hojiki 7 are no weaker than the Shinigami squad. Hojiki Izumo, somewhat excited, took the thunder swords and held them tightly. Hearing Hojiki Kazuhiko's words, he nodded heavily. Rest assured, clan head. I will give my all to ensure that the name of the thunder swords surpasses all Zanpakuto. With the blood of Konoha ninjas, I will prove the strength of our Hojiki clan. I will not disappoint the thunder swords. Hojiki Izumo, having obtained the thunder swords, eagerly headed to the training ground. Hojiki Kazuhiko, meanwhile, couldn't help but look in the direction of Forging Island. I hope Izumo can quickly defeat a renowned Konoha ninja. Make a name for himself in one battle. This way, we can mitigate the impact of the Water Dragon possession and Fukyuki Sukazan incidents on our Hojiki clan. Mangetsu has great talent and has already shown quite an impressive performance, but unfortunately, he is too young. Someone needs to uphold the reputation of the Hojiki clan until Mangetsu matures. Once Mangetsu grows up, no one will be able to surpass him. At that time, our Hojiki clan will truly return to its peak. Thinking of this, Hojiki Kazuhiko couldn't help but get excited. In his mind, he had already begun to envision the scene. My decision won't be wrong. Those Zanpakuto, the Shinigami squad, Soma. In the end, they will all become stepping stones for the Hojiki clan to rebuild its reputation. Chapter 118, Lightning Blade completed. Hojiki Izumo took the Thunder Swords to the battlefield in the Land of Fire. At this time, Soma also began forging the Lightning Blade. The simulation and modeling were already complete. First, craft the wood into a halberd handle. Then, shape the metal into the halberd blade and connect the two. The bone needs to be ground and integrated into the blade. As for the sphere, it needs to be embedded between the blade and the handle. The blueprint shows it this way. But this would make the connection between the blade and the handle less secure. However, just as I could wrap materials around the water dragon possession, I can do the same for the lightning blade. Soma decided to reinforce the connection after completing the lightning blade. No, if the lightning blade is for a lightning release ninja, I could reinforce the entire handle. Lightning release ninjas wouldn't fear the lightning. Just like how Kakashi and Sasuke can concentrate Chidori in their hands, possessing the ability to control lightning. Soma took out his tools and began working on the halberd handle. Wearing the god's hand, this task posed no difficulty for him. The manual grinding had minimal error. However, due to the length of the handle, it would take some time. Soma spent an entire day grinding the handle. At noon, Biwa Haruko delivered lunch to the forging room's entrance. Ao guarded the door. Only when Soma took a break did Ao knock on the door. By the time Soma finished grinding the handle and stepped out of the forging room, it was already evening. The sky had darkened. Two figures entered Soma's view. One was Ame Arai Ringo, and the other was Kagaya Izumi. Ame Arai. Uehara Senpai. Kagaya Izumi bowed. Chief Sama. Soma nodded slightly. Kagaya Izumi, right? Yes, Chief Sama. Are you training Ame Arai? Kagaya Izumi replied, Jozo Senpai told me before he left that if I was available, I should guide Ame Arai. Soma nodded. It's unfortunate what happened to the Kagaya clan, but people must look forward. Your Kagaya clan will surely get better in the future. Don't dwell too much on the past. Yes, Chief Sama. Go ahead. Kagaya Izumi returned to her post. Data was receiving treatment in the medical department, leaving the forging department's guard team with 13 members. However, for now, 13 was just enough. The entire forging department's guard team consisted of Ao, currently a Jonin, whose value is higher than a regular Jonin due to possessing the Byakugan. Kagaya Izumi, a special Jonin. Data, a Jonin. The rest were all Chunin. Soma, normally a special Jonin, could reach the level of a Jonin when using Pyaja. Overall, this constituted a considerable force. Soma glanced at Kagaya Izumi's back. In Kagaya Izumi, he could vaguely see a mix of conflicting emotions: confusion, bewilderment, and resentment. It was as if she had just experienced a betrayal. The Kagaya clan doesn't seem to have the custom of marrying into other ninja families, usually resolving matters internally. Kagaya Izumi is likely the same. If the person Kagaya Izumi liked had already died, her emotions wouldn't be so complicated. But the current members of the Kagaya clan have all been selected by Kagaya Nico. Could it be? Soma's brows furrowed slightly, and a guess formed in his mind. Is Kagaya Izumi's partner Kagaya Nico? This would explain why Kagaya Izumi's emotions are so complicated. Come to think of it, the relationship between Kagaya Izumi and Kagaya Nico is somewhat similar to that between Uchiha Izumi and Uchiha Itachi, but Kagaya Izumi is much luckier. Uchiha Izumi was K***LLED by Uchiha Itachi himself. He claimed to have given Uchiha Izumi a beautiful dream through genjutsu before her death. But who would want that? It was just Uchiha Itachi trying to alleviate his own guilt, only moving himself. Kagaya Nico and Kagaya Izumi are at least still alive, and maybe one day, Kagaya Izumi might learn the truth. Soma shifted his gaze. Ame Arai, let's go to the eat together. Yes, Uehara Senpai. When they arrived at the restaurant, Biwa Haruko had already prepared dinner. It was a lavish meal. Besides shrimp, crab, and fish, there was also stewed beef. Vegetables were relatively scarce in the land of water. But there were substitutes. The dining table often featured fruits and edible seaweed. After dinner, Soma waved Ame Arai Ringo over. Ame Arai, come here. Uehara Senpai. Are you familiar with the members of the guard team now? I'm quite familiar with the first squad, but not so much with the second squad. The first squad was the one Ao belonged to. The second squad is the one led by Data. Tell me about your impressions and understanding of them. As the head of the forging department, the primary purpose of the guard team is to ensure the safety of the forging department. More specifically, to ensure Soma's safety. Naturally, Soma would want to have some understanding of these people, to determine if they are trustworthy. Sister Izumi is a very good person and very sk*LLED. She excels in taijutsu and kenjutsu, and her water release is also quite good. But for some reason, she often seems unhappy. Ryukame Senpai doesn't like to talk and specializes in defensive ninjutsu. Kagaya Satoru trains very hard, but during training, he always looks like he's clenching his teeth, as if someone has wronged him. He always wears a look of deep-seated resentment. Maybe he resents Kagaya Nico, Arai Ringo speculated, and Soma agreed with her silently. On the second day, Soma took out metal ingots. Chakra smelting technique. Breathing forging method. Next came the shaping. 2 forks. One slightly longer, shaped like lightning. The other resembling a curved blade. As he shaped them, Soma examined the metal before him. A very special metal. Not extremely hard, but extremely ductile. It should conduct electricity very well. Under my forging, its toughness has been enhanced. Quenching can adopt a rather extreme ice water quenching method. With the metal's own toughness, it can withstand it without becoming overly brittle like ordinary metals. Once the blade and pole were completed, the lightning blade was more than halfway finished. The remaining issue was assembly. On the 4th day of forging, Soma finally completed all the steps. When Soma perfectly mounted the blade on the pole. Congratulations to the host for completing the forging. Lightning blade forging successful. Completion level, excellent. Congratulations to the host for gaining swordsmanship experience x 2000. Soma glanced at the semi-transparent panel in front of him. In the Kenjutsu column, the number had changed to 9300. Soma could feel that his Kenjutsu proficiency had noticeably improved. Even holding the long spear-like lightning blade in his hand felt different. I wonder how much experience is needed to reach the next level. 10,000. Below 1,000 is novice. Below 5,000 is familiar. The next level probably starts at 10,000. I wonder what level my Kenjutsu proficiency will be considered in this world at that time. Soma understands that in this world, there are actually very few people who rely solely on Kenjutsu for combat. Konoha's White Fang can be considered one. But most others rely on other means as well. Even Kakashi didn't inherit Konoha's White Fang's Kenjutsu. Gekko Hayate could also be considered one, but he wasn't strong enough. Orochimaru's sword of Kusanagi. K*Lurby's multiple swords. But none of them can be considered pure Kenjutsu users. The system's Kenjutsu doesn't actually refer to pure Kenjutsu, but more like techniques using weapons such as swords, spears, axes, and so on. Akame uses a sword. Baragan uses an axe. Lightning blade is a long spear. Since the system's Kenjutsu isn't limited to just swords, then the hammer I forged is also included in this category. In that case, the speed at which I developed the breathing forging method is related to this. Soma furrowed his brows slightly. In that case, using a hammer as a weapon in combat is actually quite reliable. My previous idea of using the breathing forging method as an attack method was correct. Long range with water release, close combat with the hammer. Now I can be a versatile ninja, proficient in both long range and close combat with water release and taijutsu. A burst of information flooded into Soma's mind. Lightning blade. Type, long spear. Quality, excellent. Abilities, Thunderbolt excellent grade replica. By inputting energy, the user can evoke lightning. The intensity of the lightning depends on the user's own capabilities. This ninja tool possesses the power of lightning, which can be triggered by the user and slowly replenishes itself. Note, according to Blacksmith's third rule, this ninja tool's power cannot harm its creator. It indeed possesses the power of lightning, just as I anticipated. Speaking of which, that spherical object is somewhat similar to the demon cores I read about in Xiangxia novels in my previous life. But in the world of Inuyasha, there doesn't seem to be such a concept of demon cores. Soma set down the lightning blade. Next, I will proceed to reinforce the lightning blade. Soma fetched metal and began forging. He continued until the 30th forging before he had to stop. For the shaft of the lightning blade, Soma designed a 2-layer wrapping. The inner layer is tough and relatively soft, providing both protection and a cushioning effect. The outer layer is slightly harder. Apart from wrapping the entire shaft, Soma reinforced the connection between the shaft and the blade. After completion, the entire spear has undergone a significant transformation. It gave off a heavy and sturdy feeling, imposing in close combat. However, to wield this spear effectively, considerable practice is required, Soma reflected. Otherwise, it can only be used for long-range attacks. Yet, in long-range combat, its power is also formidable. In addition to the user's chakra, the lightning blade itself possesses the power of lightning. It's somewhat akin to the combination of Hoshigaki Kisame and Samehada. Hoshigaki Kisame excels in the chakra absorption technique. Samehada specializes in chakra absorption. Therefore, combining both abilities makes them extremely potent. Lightning blade excels in lightning release. The user's chakra can also be converted into lightning release. When these two are combined, the result is inevitably powerful. I will let Ame Arai Ringo try it first, but I won't initiate the contract yet. If the compatibility between Kurosuke Rega and Lighting Blade is much worse compared to Ame Arai Ringo and Lighting Blade, then Lighting Blade won't be able to be fully utilized. In that case, there's no need to force Kurosuke Rega into a contract. Soma walked out with the Lighting Blade. Hearing the door open, Ao stood up and looked over. Soma. Ao-senpai. Soma, is this the ninja tool you crafted this time? Yes, this Zanpakuto is called Lighting Blade. Lighting Blade? A ninja tool with lightning attributes. Yes, it shares the same attributes as the monster K*LLED, but it can be used without needing lightning properties. The information on Lighting Blade states that it can convert energy into lightning power. Ao speculated in his heart. That is, Soma's materials for crafting the Lighting Blade likely came from that monster. But Ao had no psychological burden about it. For Manton, Ao saw its actions in the dungeon instance. It was a monster that was extremely brutal towards humans. It K*LLED without hesitation. Moreover, it treated humans as food, massacring them. Even though Ao had nothing to do with those humans. After seeing Manton's actions, he considered Manton an enemy. An enemy to be K*LLED. Ao-senpai, let's go to the training ground. Two people arrived at the training ground. Soma handed the Lighting Blade to Ao. Ao-senpai, would you like to give it a try? Ao nodded. A surge of chakra was infused. The next moment, lightning appeared from the tip of the spear. Boom! It struck the target on the opposite side and the target was instantly shattered. Ao was stunned. Such immense power! Before using it, Ao estimated the destructive potential based on his water release chakra. But in actual use, Ao found that the attack of the Lighting Blade far exceeded his expectations. Subconsciously, Ao felt delighted, thinking that the Lighting Blade had recognized him. However, Ao soon realized that he didn't feel any closeness coming from the Lighting Blade. In other words, the Lighting Blade did not recognize him. Most likely, the reason for the strong lightning release was solely the ability of the Lighting Blade itself, so he handed the Lighting Blade back to Soma. Soma, this Lighting Blade can enhance lightning release and unleash power beyond what is infused with chakra. Soma nodded. The Lighting Blade itself contains power, Ao said, looking at the Lighting Blade in admiration. In that case, this Lighting Blade is much stronger than Thunder Swords, Ao continued. It doesn't necessarily require the lightning attribute to use, but this Lighting Blade should still be recognized by a ninja with lightning attributes. In our village, if we talk about talent in lightning release, it's probably Kurosuke Rega. Soma, you can ask Mizukage-sama to have him come and try it. Chapter 119, A Contractor for Lightning Blade. Soma, should I go to Mizukage's building now? Ao proposed. Soma nodded. Alright, then I'll trouble you, Ao-senpai, he said. Ao turned and left. Soma held Lighting Blade in his hand and infused it with chakra. Boom! A bolt of lightning shot forward. Ame Arai looked over curiously. Ame Arai, where's Kaguya Izumi? Izumi-senpai will come over in a while. She has other things to attend to right now. 4 members of the Forging Department's security team, their main task was to guard Forging Island. Besides daily patrols, they also manned fixed posts resembling watchtowers. There were a dozen or so people in total, which was sufficient for the current situation on Forging Island, where things weren't too complicated. In addition to her regular duties, Kagaya Izumi had taken on the responsibility of guiding Uehara's training at the request of Juzo. Ao was aware of this adjustment specifically made to Izumi's duties. Among the members of the Forging Island security team, her strength is quite decent, so I plan to let her try the lighting blade, Soma said as he handed the lighting blade to Uehara. Uehara, hold on to this for me, he requested. In reality, Soma was just looking for a topic of conversation. His true intention was to see how well Uehara and the lighting blade would synergize. However, he didn't want to immediately decide to contract the lighting blade to Uehara. Uehara took it without suspicion. A voice sounded in Soma's mind. Detected a potential contractor compatible with the lighting blade, attribute compatibility, high, comprehensive compatibility, excellent. Proceed with guiding the contract. Soma furrowed his brow slightly. Because there's no mission commissioner directly, it's just a extermination mission, so in terms of compatibility, there's no approval needed for this aspect. Similar to my speculation, relying solely on attributes to determine comprehensive compatibility. Soma glanced at Uehara. The high attribute compatibility between Uehara and the lightning blade proves that her talent in lightning release is at least at an excellent level or above. It's not an exaggeration to call her a lightning release genius. Soma remembered how effortless it became for him to learn water release when his talent reached the excellent level. Based on previous experiences guiding contracts, Soma had formed a rough judgment regarding these so-called ninjutsu talents. A talent at the good level could reach up to Jonin rank. An excellent level talent could potentially reach elite Jonin. In that case, if Uehara continues to delve into lightning release, becoming an elite Jonin shouldn't be difficult. As for Hojiki Mangetsu, his talent in water release is probably even above the excellent level. Last time, when Pyaja was held by Hojiki Mangetsu, the system prompt indicated extremely high attribute compatibility. Before long, Izumi arrived. Uehara cheerfully introduced lighting blade to Izumi. Izumi was momentarily stunned. Chief Sama, can I really try it? She asked. Soma nodded. Yes, as a member of my forging department, you should have the priority to try it. However, if your talent in lightning release isn't sufficient, it will be difficult for lighting blade to recognize you. Uehara, hand lighting blade over to Izumi. Izumi took it, her eyes showing a hint of excitement. For the current hidden mist village, everyone already knew about the existence of Zanpakuto. Orochimaru's defeat had given everyone a clearer understanding of Zanpakuto and the Shinigami squad. Hidden mist ninjas, everyone desires to become a member of the Shinigami squad, and everyone wants to possess a Zanpakuto. Izumi is no exception. Moreover, Izumi's anticipation for a Zanpakuto surpasses that of other hidden mist ninjas. This is because Kagaya Nico wielded Dragon Bone, nearly wiping out the Kagaya clan. Nico holds a very special significance for Izumi. Izumi condensed chakra in her hand. In the next moment, lightning flickered on the lighting blade. Boom! Izumi looked at the destroyed target, revealing a surprised expression. So powerful! Soma showed a regretful expression. Unfortunately. Izumi immediately understood Soma's meaning and quickly handed lighting blade back to Uehara. Chief Sama, thank you. On the other side. Ao has arrived at the Mizukage's building. After finishing the documents in his hands, the third Mizukage gestured for Ao to enter. Mizukage-sama. Ao, what is it? Regarding the materials obtained last time, Soma has already forged a ninja tool out of them. So soon. The third Mizukage smiled. What kind of ninja tool? It's called the lighting blade, a Zanpakuto with lightning attributes. Ao hesitated for a moment and said, Mizukage-sama, I believe this ninjato might be recognized by Rega. Rega. The third Mizukage furrowed his brows slightly. He couldn't help but recall the last time he visited Rega's home and his performance. On that occasion, because the third Mizukage indeed owed the Kagaya clan a promise, he had to choose a sword to give to them from between Thunder Swords and Samehada. At that time, Samehada was in Fugyuki Sukazan's hands while Thunder Swords were in Kurosuke Rega's hands. Both were survivors under Might Do, but their conditions were different. Therefore, the third Mizukage chose to give the Thunder Swords from the deteriorated state of Kurosuke Rega to the Kagaya clan. Now, a long time has passed, and the situation in the Hidden Mist village has changed significantly. The Kagaya clan has undergone substantial transformations. Meanwhile, the Thunder Swords have fallen into the hands of the Hojiki clan. The third Mizukage doesn't feel guilty towards Rega for his past actions. It's just disappointment over Rega's current deteriorated state. Rega's situation is probably not optimistic. If he is still in such a deteriorated state now, I don't think he deserves a Zanpakuto. But... Third Mizukage reminisced about past relationships. Moreover, both Jozo and Fugyuki underwent transformations after obtaining Zanpakuto. Ao, you can go and take a look. If Rega can recover to normal, letting him try is not out of the question. Ao hesitated for a moment. Yes, Mizukage-sama. However, after leaving Mizukage's building, Ao did not immediately go to find Rega. Instead, he planned to return to Forging Island first to inform Soma of the situation. A sound of pounding reached Ao's ears. Instinctively, he looked over. He saw that on the plaza of the central island, a monument had been erected. At the bottom was stone. On top was half of what looked like the tail of a giant serpent-like creature. Could it be Manda's tail? Back at Forging Island, Ao briefed Soma on Rega's current situation. Mizukage-sama said Rega-senpai is in a bad state. Yes, he's drinking heavily, staying up late, and overeating. He doesn't seem like a ninja anymore. Soma understood that Rega's condition must be quite severe now. But he didn't expect it to be this bad. Among the original 7 survivors of the mist, Soma considered Rega to be the worst off. After losing his way in Hidden Mist Village, Jozo joined the Akatsuki organization. He died protecting his comrades from a tailed beast bomb. Fugyuki died at the hands of Kisame because he betrayed the village. However, now Soma feels that there are doubts about that incident. One thing is that Yagura was already under the control of Uchiha Obito at that time, a cage that could easily manipulate the situation to frame an underling ninja. Another point is Liver's approval rating of Fugyuki, which reached a medium to high level. Liver, in the world of Akame-Gak*LL, was falsely imprisoned. So, what about Fugyuki? Could he also have been falsely framed? Considering Obito's situation, it's very possible he could do such a thing. It not only would retaliate against Hidden Mist Village but also lure Kisame into joining the Akatsuki organization. It would be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Regardless of whether Fugyuki was falsely imprisoned or not, in Soma's view, he was still active. Except for Rega. During his defection, he took away a Ranmaru, then found a mine and ruled there. But he still seemed erratic. It's as if he never recovered from being defeated by Might Do. Later on, he was even hunted down by a genin like Naruto. No matter the mindset, the momentum, or the strength, they all do not match the status of an elite jonin. By the way, Soma, the village brought back that piece of Manda's tail cut off by Fugyuki, erected it in the square, and made it into a monument. Many people are looking at it. Soma raised an eyebrow. It seems Mizukage-sama intends to use this matter to spread greater influence. Ao nodded. Defeating Orochimaru is indeed a morale booster for us in Hidden Mist Village, Ao continued. The mention of the 7 ninja swordsmen's previous disastrous defeat has decreased significantly now. Even if people from other ninja villages mention it, we can counter with Orochimaru's defeat. It's as if Hidden Mist Village has truly risen again. Monuments, sculptures. To Soma, these things are what can significantly boost morale and cohesion. At first glance, it may not seem to have much practical significance. However, its influence is actually considerable. Take Konoha for example. The presence of the Hokage rock may not matter much to adult ninja, but for academy students and young ninja, it holds great significance. Many young ninja in Konoha aspire to become Hokage in the future, and the Hokage rock plays a significant role in their ambitions. But Manda's tail made Soma think of something else. Currently, many of the ninja tools created by Soma have unique abilities. A large part of them contain biological materials like the Shonisaurus in Piaja, the skeletal bones of the Skeleton Emperor, the demonic core in the Lightning Blade, and the biological organs in Water Dragon Possession. This has given Soma some inspiration. Since the materials provided by the system can create extraordinary ninja tools, could he also create extraordinary ninja tools by obtaining similar materials in this world? Being a creature of Ryokai Cave, Manda is very powerful. Apart from its formidable body, it also possesses Senjutsu Chakra. Such a creature, placed in the world of Akame-Gak*LL, would undoubtedly be considered a dangerous beast. A mere tale, Soma isn't very interested in it. However, if he could obtain a complete Manda corpse and study it seriously, he believes he could create a decent ninja tool. Many creatures from the 3 sacred lands of summoning beasts can be considered dangerous beasts. But the time is not yet right to use them as materials for crafting ninja tools. Soma is well aware that on the surface, the three sacred lands of summoning beasts do not seem to have any connection. Even the relationships between creatures like Bunta, Manda, and Katsuya have worsened due to changes in relationships among people like Orochimaru, Tsunade, and Jiraiya. However, he finds it hard to believe that the three sacred lands of summoning beasts would simultaneously select 3 ninja from Konoha without any discussion. Even if there was no explicit discussion, there must have been an implicit agreement. Otherwise, why would they all choose ninja from Konoha? Are there no ninjas left from other villages besides Konoha? Besides, humans are humans, and summon beasts are summon beasts. If Soma were to make a move against one summon beast, the others would also fear Soma. But there will definitely be opportunities in the future. Once I have enough strength. Once I have crafted enough ninja tools. Once the members of the Shinigami squad are strong enough. Even using the 10 tails as material for crafting ninja tools is not an impossible thing. After thinking for a moment, Soma snapped back to reality. Ao senpai, let's go take a look. Okay. A group of 4 people. In addition to Soma and Ao, there were also Kagaya Izumi and Hoshigaki Ryakame. Ryakame paddled the small boat. Before long, Soma and the others arrived at Rega's residence. Before they even entered, the smell of alcohol wafted over. Soma couldn't help but furrow his brow. Ao stepped forward. He knocked on the door. Bang! 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 But there was no response. He knocked again. Bang! 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 Still, no response came. However, from the sounds inside, it seemed like someone was moving around. Byakugan. Ao took a step back and activated his Byakugan. In the next moment, his expression turned somewhat grim. Ao senpai, what's the matter? Ao shook his head and said, Soma, Rega's condition is worse than Mizukage-sama described. He's practically passed out from drinking. Soma, should we still go in? Ao was visibly disappointed with Rega's situation. Soma hesitated for a moment. Since we're here, let's go in and have a look, he finally said. With a light leap, Ao flipped over the fence. Click! From inside, the courtyard gate swung open. Soma and the others walked in. At that moment, Soma also caught sight of Rega. Disheveled hair, unkempt appearance, a mix of alcohol and an indescribable odor wafting around him. Soma, let me try waking him up first, Ao said. Water release. Ao used water release, forming a water sphere suspended above Rega's head. Splash! The cold water caused the drunken Rega to jolt awake. Who? What's going on? What do you want? Chapter 120, Lighting Blade Contract Success. After a while. Rega-senpai, how are you feeling about it? I'm sorry for waking you up like this, Rega-senpai. Rega waved his hand. It's fine. Then he looked up, staring intently at Soma. A glint flashed in his eyes, as if his hope for the future had sparked. Earlier, Soma had already provided information about the lighting blade. In addition, Ao had supplemented details about Jozo and Fugyuki's current situations after obtaining their Zanpakuto. However, in the end, Rega still sighed. I'm afraid I can't do it. Ao's brows furrowed even more deeply. In Ao's view, Rega was being excessively defeated. One failure and he completely collapsed. Now that the opportunity to contract with Zanpakuto was right in front of him, he wouldn't even give it a try? Was he going to spend the rest of his life in a haze? Rega-senpai, are you sure? I'm sure. Rega nodded. Can you tell me the reason? Soma asked. Rega remained silent for a moment. Chief Uehara, I appreciate your coming here personally to give me this opportunity, he said. I know the Zanpakuto you forge is very powerful, he continued. I also know there are countless ninjas who would seize this opportunity. Chief Uehara, both you and the Zanpakuto are fine. The problem lies with me. I can no longer fight. Every time I close my eyes, I can't help but recall that day's scene. I can only numb myself with alcohol to breathe a little easier. I can't even hold a kunai steadily. With me in this state, how can I fight? The contract of the lighting blade, if used on me, would be a waste. I am already a useless person. When I heard Chief Uehara mention the news about the lighting blade, I did feel a bit tempted. But I feel that I can't be like Jozo or Fugyuki. Even with the lighting blade, I would still be the same ordinary me. Thunder swords were like that in my hands. I'm sure the lighting blade would be the same in my hands. Moreover, I am tired of war. Soma's eyes flickered for a moment. If Rega hadn't said that last sentence, Soma would have truly believed that Rega couldn't dispel the shadows in his heart. But that last sentence clearly revealed dissatisfaction with the village. Yet Soma thought about it and found it understandable. After being defeated, not only was there no one to comfort him, but there were also sneers and ridicule in the village. Even Jozo has been despondent for a long time until the appearance of the blue rose sword. Meanwhile, Rega was deprived of the right to use the thunder swords midway. It could be said that in terms of encountering adversity, it was worse than Jozo. It's normal to harbor resentment towards the village. However, Soma couldn't quite understand Rega's way of dealing with his resentment towards the village. Soma thought of a word. Slacking off. Because of resentment towards the village, he's unwilling to contribute to it directly and decided to slack off. But is this really the right approach? Who does this retaliation benefit? You, Rega, aren't slacking off on the system. Rega-senpai, what do you think the village is? Rega was taken aback for a moment. The village? Why is Chief Uehara suddenly asking this question? Just suddenly thought of this question. Soma said, I'm familiar with Jozo-senpai, I've interacted with Fugyuki-senpai, and I'm very sorry for the fate of the former 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist. Many people in the village have not correctly recognized your contributions. Instead, they evaluate you purely based on one victory or defeat. This is very unfair. Rega agreed with this statement. Things are better now. During the period immediately after the defeat of the former 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, rumors were rampant, overwhelming everything. Rega dared not go out at all. Every time he went out, he felt drowned in those rumors. Due to the guilt of failure in his heart, he was immediately overwhelmed by anger towards those rumors. Afterwards, Rega also harbored dissatisfaction towards the third Mizukage. Alcoholism was just Rega's way of covering up. The real issue with Rega is his dissatisfaction with the village. He feels that despite his many contributions to the village, it is not valued. Therefore, he began to ponder what makes a person's life meaningful. Where does the meaning of life lie? The concept of being raised from a young age to prioritize the village has collapsed in Rega's heart. These people enjoy the convenience brought to them by sacrifices without realizing it. They are self-centered. They truly do not deserve to be members of the village. Rega's expression changed slightly. What Soma said is exactly what Rega had been thinking. As a ninja of the village, they fight tirelessly outside, risking their lives. Just because of one failure, they are completely denied by all of you. Is such a village worthy of their efforts? However, Soma's final sentence made Rega realize a problem. Namely, what is the village? Can those who mock and ridicule oneself represent the village? Will his own dereliction really harm these people? Even without oneself, there will still be a steady stream of ninjas heading to the battlefield to fight against Konoha ninjas. These ninjas are also members of the village. Those who previously mocked and ridiculed him still do so now. The only one being punished seems to be himself. This is not the meaning his life should have. It's not worth dereliction and self-punishment for those who don't deserve to be members of the village. What did Jozo and Fugyuki think? Both being former members of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, Rega easily refers to Biwa Jozo and Fugyuki Sukazan. The reason Rega refuses to try lighting blade, besides dereliction, is another reason. That is, Rega is worried that obtaining lighting blade will not bring about a significant change in his strength. After Jozo and Fugyuki obtained their Zanpakuto, everyone could see that their strength had improved significantly compared to before. It's not an exaggeration to say it was a qualitative change. But that's exactly Rega's concern. The Blue Rose Sword gave Jozo additional ice release abilities. Before Sever Sword, Rega also knew it wasn't a powerful ninjato. Therefore, Jozo's change in strength was normal. As for Fugyuki's same Heta, Rega remembers that in Fugyuki's hands, it had only the ability to absorb chakra, stronger than Sever Sword, but with limited strength. And it didn't suit Fugyuki's style. Now with Water Dragon possession, it matches Fugyuki's abilities much better. Therefore, Fugyuki's change in strength was also normal. But Rega isn't sure he can have such a change himself. Before, he used thunder swords. And he's already adapted to them. Lighting blade, another lightning attribute ninjato, how is it different from thunder swords? If he uses Lightning Blade, his strength probably won't change much compared to using Thunder Swords. When that time comes, if someone compares him to Juzo and Fukyuki, they will surely say he is the weakest talent among the former 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist. And giving up would avoid such comparisons. This is a thought many people with strong self-esteem would have. Reiga has this kind of mindset now. You can say I'm worse than Juzo and Fukyuki because I didn't work hard enough. But I can't let others say my talent is inferior to Juzo and Fukyuki with proof. Soma stood up. Reiga-senpai, think about it carefully. I'll leave first. Just as Soma stood up, Reiga spoke. Chief Uehara. Reiga-senpai. I've thought about it. I've decided to give it a try. Soma's eyebrows twitched slightly. Then let's go to the forging department. Before long, the 4 of them arrived at Forging Island. Soma led Reiga to the contract house. Afterward, he took out the lighting blade. Reiga-senpai, just pick it up and infuse it with chakra. Okay. Reiga examined the lighting blade. In his mind, he compared it with the thunder swords. Just from its appearance, the lighting blade that Soma had reinforced and enhanced was clearly much sturdier than the thunder swords. I wonder how efficient it will be in converting lightning release. Reiga reached out his hand and looked at the lighting blade, saying to himself. I still don't know the meaning of life, but at least I can't continue to give up. Those people won't be hurt because of my giving up, others will be hurt. Those people won't feel guilty because of my giving up, they will just mock me. That kind of person doesn't deserve to be a member of the village. I don't need to hurt myself because of them. Now I can no longer possess thunder swords. Trying out this lighting blade isn't a bad thing for me. As for others comparing me to Juzo and Fukyuki, maybe I can find a way to deal with that. Reiga's mindset underwent a change. A surge of chakra flowed into the lighting blade. Instantly, a strong flash of lightning shimmered on the blade of the lighting blade. Go! Reiga aimed the blade at the sea surface. In an instant, the sea surface exploded. Electric currents scattered in the sea water. Before long, some fish corpses floated up. Such power! Reiga looked at the sea surface, showing an expression of disbelief, then looked down at the lighting blade in his hand. It's not an illusion. Under the same chakra usage, the lightning release emitted by this lighting blade is obviously stronger than thunder swords. And not just a little bit stronger. Could it be that thunder swords were limiting my potential? Is my talent actually greater than that? No, that's not it. It seems like within this lighting blade, there's inherent power of lightning. When my chakra is infused, this part of the lightning power combines with the lightning power formed by my chakra changes, hence producing such strong attacks. Reiga's eyes lit up. In that case, holding the lighting blade, could I be much stronger than when I held thunder swords? With the lighting blade in hand, would I not be weaker than Juzo with the blue rose sword or Fukyuki with water dragon possession? Suddenly, one of Reiga's major concerns disappeared. Reiga felt his heart beating rapidly. He was very excited. He still harbored dissatisfaction towards the village. It was impossible for him to sacrifice his life for the village as before. However, Reiga did desire to improve his strength. With improved strength, he could fend off the rumors and mockery directed at him. He could defeat those damned Konoha ninjas and restore his reputation. He could regain respect. And he could better understand the meaning of life. A voice echoed in Soma's mind. Detected appearance of a lightning blade compatible contractor, attribute compatibility, high, comprehensive compatibility, excellent, initiate contract guidance. Soma was intrigued. Excellent level, just like Uehara. This proves that Reiga's lightning release talent, even if it's not as good as Uehara's, isn't far behind. After all, in the system's view, they are of the same level. Perhaps one is an outstanding figure in the excellent category, while the other barely reaches excellent. In the original storyline, being defeated by Naruto and other genin likely was caused by a breakdown in mentality, leading to neglect in training. As a result, strength didn't improve but rather declined. Similar to Mitarashi Anko during the Boruto period. Since he and Uehara are of the same excellent level, Soma had no reason to hesitate. Uehara couldn't rapidly gain him a large amount of reputation. Reiga, on the other hand, was more likely to do so with his desire to get back at those mocking him. Initiate. The next moment. Lightning blade contract successful. Compatibility, excellent. The abilities of lightning blade have been enhanced to a certain extent. Congratulations to the host for acquiring lightning release talent at the excellent level. Host detected to already possess lightning release talent at the good level, talent synthesis initiation in progress. Congratulations to the host for acquiring lightning release talent at the excellent level, only one step away from reaching the next level with a good level lightning release talent. Rega felt a surge of closeness. Is this Zanpakuto? It feels completely different from Thunder Swords. Stronger power than Thunder Swords. More resilient. The handling feels much better. Perfect. Rega gripped Lightning Blade tightly, afraid that it would disappear if he loosened his grip. At this moment, Thunder Swords were completely out of Rega's mind. Thunder Swords? What's that? A trashy ninjato. Can't compare to my Lightning Blade at all. Rega-senpai, congratulations. Chief Uehara, thank you very much. Rega-senpai, Mizukage-sama said that if you successfully contract with Lightning Blade, then after the contract, please visit the Mizukage's building. He has something he wants to discuss with you. Mizukage-sama. Rega's eyes flickered. Alright, I understand. I'll head over now. Watching Rega's figure depart. Until he completely disappeared from view, Ao furrowed his brow. Soma, I'm a bit worried. Ao-senpai, what are you worried about? This Rega gives me a bad feeling, as if he doesn't care much about the village anymore. Chapter 121, First Contact with Nature Energy. Mizukage-sama knows what to do. Soma could also see that Rega's condition was not quite right. Is this conversation helpful so far? Previously, it was blatant retaliation against the village. Now it seems he no longer wants to retaliate, but to say he would be wholeheartedly devoted to the village like Jozo or Fuyuki, Soma finds it unlikely. However, for Soma, as long as Rega can provide him with reputation, that's enough. It's impossible to expect everyone to maintain absolute loyalty to the Hidden Mist village. Even Soma himself cannot achieve that. Between the village and himself, Soma places himself above the village. Moreover, having obtained the Lightning Blade, even if Rega is dissatisfied with some people in the village, he wouldn't defect from the Hidden Mist village. That's not a good option. There are many ways to seek revenge, and defecting is just the worst way. Rega, have you gained the approval of the Lightning Blade? The third Mizukage looked at the Lightning Blade in Rega's hand. Yes, Mizukage-sama. Congratulations. Thank you Mizukage-sama for giving me this opportunity. The third Mizukage nodded slightly. Now that you have the Lightning Blade, Rega, do you have confidence in your current strength? Mizukage-sama, what do you mean? Rega was momentarily stunned. The third Mizukage said, our village is currently engaged in battles with Konoha and the Hidden Sand village, divided into two fronts. If you are confident in your abilities, I will assign you to the Hidden Sand village battlefield. The Hidden Sand village, has Pakura returned to the battlefield? The third Mizukage nodded. In our village, Rega, your strength is most suitable for confronting Pakura. However, Rega was not keen on facing Pakura. Jozo had already fought with Pakura, seriously injuring her and forcing her to retreat from the battlefield. Now that he had the Lightning Blade, Rega could clearly feel that the Lightning Blade was much stronger than the Thunder Swords. His overall strength was certainly greater than before. But Rega was not confident he could defeat Pakura or seriously injure her. If he were to suffer a severe defeat at Pakura's hands, Rega could imagine the many mocking rumors that would target him. In the past, Rega wouldn't hesitate to follow the third Mizukage's orders. But now, Rega thought more about himself. Before doing anything, he considered his own interests rather than the village's. Mizukage-sama, I'm afraid I can't do it. Rega shook his head and said, I've just obtained the Lightning Blade and haven't adapted to it yet. I'm not confident in facing Pakura. The third Mizukage squinted his eyes slightly. Alright, then you will go to the Konoha battlefield. As for Pakura, I'll still send Jozo. Yes, Mizukage-sama. After Rega left, the third Mizukage's face turned cold. This Rega is dissatisfied with me as the Mizukage. Is it because of the Thunder Swords? The Kagaya clan and the Hojiki clan are both problematic, prioritizing their self-interest over the village. Even I, as the Mizukage, am extremely passive. Can't you see that, Rega? He's dissatisfied with me because of this. Does he think I, the Mizukage, am omnipotent? Even someone like the first Hokage, Senju Hashirama, had to bow his head. So ignorant. So selfish. Fine. If you're only dissatisfied with me, then so be it. But if you have even the slightest thought of betraying the village, then I'll have no choice but to let Kagaya Niko K***LLU. The third Mizukage withdrew his gaze. If an act of betrayal had already been committed, the third Mizukage could directly have the Hidden Mist Village's ninja take action. But if it was just a thought, having the Hidden Mist Village's ninja act directly would be inappropriate. However, the third Mizukage's tolerance for Riga was not high. In situations where the Hidden Mist Village's ninja couldn't act, Kagaya Niko became a suitable candidate to take action. On the surface, he was a rogue ninja, but in reality, he remained loyal to the Hidden Mist Village. Moreover, he possesses considerable strength. Kagaya Niko has always maintained contact with the Hidden Mist Village, communicating with the third Mizukage through ANBU Ninja. The third Mizukage knows that Kagaya Niko has now awakened the Shikatsumayaku Kekii Genkai, significantly increasing his power compared to before. Coupled with the abilities of Dragon Bone, in terms of Taijutsu, the third Mizukage believes that even if Kagaya Niko hasn't reached Kage level, he's not far off. Forging Island. Soma glanced at the semi-transparent screen in front of him. The process of making the contract has brought some reputation, not much, but if there's no unexpected event, Riga should soon head to the front lines of the battlefield. At that time, it will bring me a lot of reputation feedback. Name, Soma. Comprehensive Strength, Special Jonin. Swordsmanship, SK**LLED, 9300, dot. Body Modification Technique, Familiar, 2000, dot. Abilities, Underwater Breathing. Forging Technique, Very Good, Proficient Forging Island Bonus, God's Hand Bonus, dot. Mission Items, Thug Recruitment Token X2. Blacksmith Reputation, 205. Evaluation, as a blacksmith, the foundation is decent. Due to having your own forging space and equipment, Forging Technique receives bonuses, with the chance to craft superior grade ninja tools or better. As a ninja, possesses certain strength, stronger than cannon fodder. Now I have a total of 5 henchmen. Kisame, Juzo, Ao, Data, 3rd Mizukage. And 2 thug recruitment tokens. It will take some time for Riga to head to the front lines. Therefore, it will also take some time for my reputation to reach over 1000 points. During this time, I can improve my forging techniques. Soma already has a plan. First is the chakra smelting technique. Currently, what Soma is doing is incorporating fire release chakra into the smelting process. By using this method of smelting, he enhances the quality of metals. This is just the beginning of the chakra smelting technique. For better smelting results, he can incorporate chakra of other attributes alongside fire release chakra. Fire release chakra serves as the foundation. In a sense, it's somewhat similar to combination ninjutsu. My best innate talent right now is water release. However, it's difficult to simultaneously use fire release and water release chakra in the smelting process. Water and fire are incompatible, even if chakra isn't completely so, there's still a repulsion. Comparatively, starting with a fusion of lightning release and fire release would be a better attempt. My talent in lightning release has also reached an excellent level. Secondly, there's the breathing forging method. Taking inspiration from the water breathing technique in Demon Slayer, and combining it with his own forging technique, Soma has made improvements while observing the forms found in nature. Water drop hammer. Water flow hammer. If water flow becomes stronger, would it then become a river? A waterfall. Rivers and waterfalls can be seen as two directions, similar to the relationship between exploding water colliding wave and water formation pillar. One emphasizes water volume, while the other emphasizes impact force. I can try both of these directions. Soma took out pen and paper. In the complete forging process of ninja tools, everything is written down. Material selection. Smelting, including refining. Forging. Shaping. Quenching, including tempering. Polishing, including grinding, sharpening. Regarding material selection, it's about the ability to judge the quality of materials. Soma mostly relies on experience. In theory, there are techniques and corresponding SK**LLS. But regarding Forging Island, there's no such inheritance. Not even a name. Chakra smelting technique can be used in smelting. Breathing forging method can be used in forging and shaping processes. Quenching is closely related to materials. Different materials can produce different quenching effects: water, ice, oil. Tempering is reheating ninja tools after quenching to reduce brittleness and increase toughness. The chakra smelting technique can also be used here. Polishing and grinding include a technique on Forging Island that no one controls, but it has a name, Earth Core Polishing Technique, similar to chakra smelting technique and breathing forging method. The Earth Core here doesn't refer to the actual core of the Earth but rather deep within Forging Island. Forging Island is a volcanic island with a hollow interior that descends hundreds of meters below sea level. In that area, due to its depth below sea level, it's called the Earth Core. According to legend, at the Earth Core, one can sense certain fluctuations. By following these fluctuations, additional effects can be achieved when sharpening, grinding, and polishing ninja tools. Soma glanced at the flowing magma. Previously, it was difficult for me to venture deep into the Earth's core. The temperature at the Earth's core is too high. But now, my strength has improved. And I have also learned fire release, perhaps I can go take a look. I can't persist for too long, but a short visit should be fine. If I want to elevate the overall level of my forging technique to excellent, this aspect is necessary to improve. Soma walked out of the forging room and arrived at the passage leading to the Earth's core. Step by step, descending. The further down he went, the higher the temperature around him became. Even without doing anything, the high temperature caused Soma to sweat profusely. Drib. The sweat fell to the ground and immediately evaporated, turning into water vapor. A white mark was left where the sweat landed. It was the salt from the sweat. Half an hour. I can't stay any longer than that. It will cause severe dehydration. Soma's expression became somewhat serious. Finally, a platform entered Soma's sight. Here was the deepest part of Forging Island. A circular platform located right at the center. Intense heat waves gathered here, almost solidifying into substance. Soma stepped onto the platform. A special fluctuation. When it came to fluctuation, the first thing Soma thought of was the ripple in the world of JoJo. But in this world, obviously, there couldn't be any stands. Besides chakra and heat, it seems there's another type of energy. Upon sensing, a name automatically surfaced in Soma's mind. Natural energy. In the ninja world of Naruto, there were only two extraordinary energies. One was chakra, and the other was natural energy. Since what Soma sensed wasn't chakra, it was very likely natural energy. If natural energy is mixed into this polishing jutsu, it indeed is extraordinary and can bring additional effects. But natural energy is very dangerous. Soma had no intention of trying it easily. Even places like Mount Miyaboku, which have studied natural energy for a long time and have inheritances where frogs absorb natural energy, have had many accidents where they turned into stone. This shows the level of danger natural energy poses. But if it's not absorbed into the body, it should be fine. I can study it first. Soma closed his eyes and began to concentrate seriously. A ninja entered the tent. Danzo-sama. Danzo sat upright in his chair, wearing the expression of a strategist who decides victories from within his tent. How are things? The ninja below responded. Reporting to Danzo-sama, Biwa-Jozo has left Kirigakure. According to the intelligence from Hidden Sand Village, Jozo is likely heading there to confront Pakura. Yagura and Fuyuki are still here. Danzo's eyes flickered. What about Hoshigaki Kisame? Hoshigaki Kisame is together with Fuyuki. This was arranged by Yagura. On the Land of Fire battlefield, Yagura serves as the commander, much like Danzo on the opposing side. Yagura sees Kisame's abilities and Fuyuki's abilities as highly complementary, so he arranged for the two to work together. Danzo frowned slightly. I need to figure out a way to separate them. Obtaining the ninjato, Kiryu-Kimonji, from Kisame's hands is the easiest way. After all, among the current members of Hidden Mist Village's Shinigami squad, Kisame is the weakest. Danzo is very interested in the ninjato. He wants to acquire one for research purposes and also capture a Shinigami squad member to gather information on the blacksmith behind them. On the other side, Orochimaru also has a keen interest in ninjato. After all, Orochimaru's defeat was largely due to the appearance of Zanpakuto. If it's just Yagura alone, Orochimaru wouldn't have lost. Kiryu-Kimonji, Water Dragon Possession, Blue Rose Sword. Orochimaru's concern for Zanpakuto had surpassed his interest in experiments for the time being. Orochimaru arrived at the Hokage building. Sarutobi-sensei, I want to go out for a bit. Go out? Where are you going? I want to find Kagayaniko. Orochimaru continued, Kagaya Nico stole the Zanpakuto Dragon Bone, K*LLED many members of the Kagaya clan, was branded a rogue by the Hidden Mist village, and certainly harbors resentment towards them. Perhaps I can obtain information about Zanpakuto, the Shinigami squad, and the blacksmith from Kagaya Nico. To defeat the Hidden Mist village, solving the Zanpakuto issue is necessary. Sarutobi Hiruzen pondered for a moment. That could work. But Kagaya Nico is extremely dangerous, and his strength is considerable. Orochimaru, be careful. You won't be able to summon Manda to fight for you in such a short time, right? Chapter 122, I'm the one saving you. Orochimaru nodded. Given Manda's current state, if Orochimaru were to summon Manda, the first attack would be aimed at Orochimaru himself. However, Orochimaru was not afraid at all. He just couldn't make Manda fight for him, but he still had his own strength. Leaving Konoha, Orochimaru arrived at a staging post outside the village. He entered a tavern. I need information on Kagaya Nico's whereabouts. Every ninja village has its own intelligence system. For ninjas, intelligence is a crucial aspect. However, Kagaya Nico's situation is different. He does not belong to any ninja village faction. Therefore, Konoha's intelligence system does not invest much effort in this regard. In contrast, the intelligence systems of bounty hunters would be more interested in someone like Kagaya Nico. A powerful rogue ninja. If K*LLED, one could collect a huge bounty by going to Hidden Mist Village. If not K*LLED, one could recruit or hire them. Normally, hiring such a powerful ninja from a ninja village would cost a high price. But for rogue ninjas, they can be hired at a relatively lower cost. This is why Kakuzu is so popular in the wandering ninja world. It's not just because Kakuzu is strong, but because Kakuzu's rates are cheaper. For a minor noble who wants to hire a ninja proficient in all types of ninjutsu, someone with strength surpassing elite jonin, there are very few options, either Sarutobi Hiruzen or Kakuzu. But to hire Sarutobi Hiruzen, this minor noble would likely have to spend their entire fortune. Hiring Kakuzu, on the other hand, doesn't even require half, no, not even a third. Powerful individuals like Kagaya Nico are highly sought after in the wandering ninja world, akin to hotcakes. Moreover, Kagaya Nico's actions are exceptionally remarkable, which further draws attention. A middle-aged man smiled. Orochimaru-sama, Kagaya Nico is powerful and dangerous. Acquiring information about him won't come cheap. Name your price. 1 million ryo. Orochimaru frowned. Do you think I'm ignorant? No, Orochimaru-sama, I wouldn't dare. It's just that the information is truly worth this price. I happen to have Kagaya Nico's whereabouts in hand. If you want it, I can give it to you right now. The middle-aged man's smile became even more obsequious. The timeliness of this information is extremely high. Moreover, our people sacrificed quite a bit to obtain this intelligence. Orochimaru still frowned. It's too high. 1 million ryo. It's on the level of top-tier A-rank missions or even S-rank missions. Is the location information of just Kagaya Nico worth so much? An ordinary A-rank mission typically costs only hundreds of thousands of ryo. And A-rank missions involve matters at the national or village level. Well, Orochimaru-sama, what amount would you find acceptable? 100,000 ryo. The middle-aged man's face turned bitter. Orochimaru-sama, that's too low. We lost over a dozen people. After some haggling, they settled on 300,000 ryo. Once Orochimaru paid the money, the middle-aged man's expression suddenly changed. From a face of bitterness and reluctance, he swiftly turned to joy, making Orochimaru realize that this price was entirely acceptable to the middle-aged man, without any reluctance at all. The middle-aged man handed over a scroll. It wasn't a ninjutsu scroll, just ordinary paper. Orochimaru-sama, the intelligence is right here. Orochimaru nodded and walked away. When he reached the end of the street, he glanced back, squinting his eyes. These ordinary people are quite greedy. It's been a while since I dealt with people like this, and they managed to get a small advantage over me. But at this moment, Orochimaru didn't have time to dwell on the middle-aged man. Finding Kagaya Nico was the most important thing for Orochimaru right now. Ding! The blades in their hands clashed together. Then, at an extremely fast speed, they separated. Hojiki Mangetsu and Uchiha Shisui, both of their figures simultaneously retreated. They looked up at each other, both with serious expressions. Uchiha Shisui. Hojiki Mangetsu. The battlefield was a crucible for nurturing geniuses. Through continuous battles, true talents would emerge. Just like Hoshigaki Kisame, just like Hitaki Kakashi. It's not about relying on others' praise, but on one's own solid strength. Powerful ninjas always attract extra attention and discussions from people. Heroes, geniuses. People usually categorize ninjas based on their age and achievements. Minato Namikaze, the fourth Raikage, Kitsuki, Pakura, Raza, Yagura, Biwajozo. These individuals are considered the first generation. Because Minato Namikaze stood out the most in this generation with his extraordinary performance, many references to Minato Namikaze's nickname were used in naming this era. Minato is known as the Yellow Flash, or sometimes the Golden Flash. The difference between the two is slight. Therefore, some people refer to this generation as the Golden Generation. The previous Mist 7, due to their disastrous defeat, have already faded away. But Biwajozo and the other two, relying on their Zanpakuto, have re-entered public discourse. The third Mizukage and others are referred to as the older generation. Most of them are already elderly. Moreover, the third Raikage has already passed away. The third Kazekage has gone missing. Among the strong individuals of that generation, there are hardly any left alive. The generation from Konoha is relatively well preserved. Apart from Sarutobi Hiruzen, there are Shimura Danzo and the two elders. The Sunin and others are referred to as the old generation as well. People acknowledge the strength of the old generation, but there isn't much discussion about them because their strength is already well established and unlikely to change much. There has been enough discussion about them in the past. People are creatures who like novelty and get bored of the old. Currently, the most discussed are the Golden Generation and the Silver Generation led by Hoshigaki Kisame. In Konoha, there's Kakashi and Asuma. In the Hidden Mist Village, there's Hoshigaki Kisame and Zabuza. In the Hidden Cloud Village, there's Darui. In the Hidden Rock Village, there's Gari. In the Hidden Sand Village, there's Sasori of the Red Sand, though Sasori of the Red Sand is significantly older, and it's just that the Hidden Sand Village doesn't have any other noteworthy talents to speak of. Apart from Sasori of the Red Sand, if we really have to mention someone, there's only Beiki. Further down the list are Uchiha Shisui and Hojiki Mangetsu, who represent the younger Silver Generation. There aren't many people worth paying attention to, and their age gap with the Silver Generation isn't significant, so that's the nickname given to them. Both are aware of each other's data. Uchiha Shisui specializes in Genjutsu, body flicker jutsu, and possesses the Sharingan. Hojiki Mangetsu excels in water release and wields Hiramekurei. Following Orochimaru's defeat, Mangetsu also realized the dire situation of the Hojiki clan. Therefore, Mangetsu is very eager to gain fame and alleviate the pressure on the Hojiki clan. Last time, Mangetsu actively engaged Kakashi for this reason. However, after their encounter, Mangetsu had to admit that his current strength is still not a match for Kakashi. Meanwhile, Asuma has completely withdrawn from the battlefield. In this situation, Mangetsu can only set his sights on Shisui, a genius of the Uchiha clan. Release. A large amount of chakra poured into Hiramekurei. A sphere of light appeared on Hiramekurei. In the next moment, Mangetsu swung the light sphere on Hiramekurei fiercely towards where Shisui was. Shisui's pupils contracted. Body flicker jutsu. Right before the light sphere landed, Shisui flickered away. Boom! A huge explosion resounded. Shisui glanced at where the light sphere had fallen. Such formidable power! Is this the Hiramekurei among the Hidden Mist 7 ninja swords? Mangetsu corrected Uchiha Shisui. They aren't the Hidden Mist 7 ninja swords, it's the Hojiki 7 ninja swords. With one attack made, Mangetsu didn't pause but predicted Shisui's possible location and charged forward in advance. Jumping high, swinging Hiramekurei, he aimed to strike down at Shisui. Sharingan. Tomo rotated in Shisui's eyes. A wave of genjutsu power fell upon Mangetsu. Mangetsu fell into the genjutsu and landed on the ground, causing Shisui breathed a sigh of relief. But suddenly he felt something was wrong. Water release, water gun jutsu. Shisui dodged with all his might. However, he was still too close. Splurt. Nevertheless, Shisui managed to avoid the vital parts. Mangetsu's water gun jutsu grazed past the side of Shisui's thigh, taking off a piece of flesh with blood flowing out. Too bad. Mangetsu revealed a regretful expression. Shisui quickly tended to the wound, looking at Mangetsu with puzzlement in his eyes. What did you just do? Just as Shisui knew about Mangetsu's hydrification jutsu, Mangetsu also knew about Shisui's genjutsu. Therefore, during the high jump, Mangetsu had already used his hydrification jutsu on himself. But it was only partial hydrification. It blocked the visual transmission to the brain's imagery processing area. This means that even if Mangetsu opened his eyes and looked at Shisui's Sharingan, none of those images actually reached Mangetsu's brain. Naturally, he wouldn't fall under genjutsu. After landing, Mangetsu released the hydrification jutsu and pretended to look as if he had fallen under genjutsu. This was to deceive Shisui. Mangetsu didn't answer Shisui directly, only saying, "Shisui, you're more formidable than I expected. But I have a reason that forces me to K*LLU. Let's continue." Mangetsu charged at Shisui once again. High above, two figures stood. Danzo looked at the root ninja beside him. "Has Yagura been drawn over there?" "Yes, Danzo-sama." Danzo nodded. "Then the ninjas we need to watch out for here are only Hoshigaki Kisame, Fugyuki Sukazan, and that one, Hoseki Izumo. However, considering the situation of the Hoseki clan, while Hoseki Mangetsu is currently in fierce battle, Hoseki Izumo is unlikely to actively support Hoshigaki Kisame and Fugyuki Sukazan on the other side. Now is the best opportunity. Send my orders, move." With Danzo's command, a large number of Konoha ninja began to take action. K*LL. If strength is lacking, then make up for it with numbers. On the battlefield in the Land of Fire, Konoha indeed had the numerical advantage. Konoha's population was inherently larger than that of the Hidden Mist Village. Moreover, many were eliminated in the bloody mist of the Hidden Mist Village, while those from Konoha who survived were considered cannon fodder. "Fugyuki-senpai, something doesn't seem right." Kisame slit the throat of a Konoha ninja, looked around, and vaguely sensed something amiss. "Indeed." Fugyuki nodded. "It must be Shimura Danzo scheming something. In terms of strength, Shimura Danzo is not as good as Orochimaru, but when it comes to cunning, he surpasses even Orochimaru. I'll go up and take a look at the situation." After saying that, Fugyuki formed hand seals. Water release, Water Dragon Bullet Jutsu. Instead of attacking, he lightly jumped and landed atop the water dragon's head. Then, with a fierce surge upward, the water dragon swiftly ascended into the sky. Fugyuki looked down below. Ordinary water release ninjas couldn't achieve this level of water dragon bullet ninjutsu or sustain it for long. But Fugyuki, who possessed water dragon possession, could. After assessing the situation below, Fugyuki's expression turned grim in an instant. "We're surrounded. There are many Konoha ninja hidden all around us. This is a trap. We must break through. Yagura is definitely being held back somewhere else. Kisame, they're coming for us." Fugyuki landed, his expression becoming very serious. Both he and Kisame had means to attempt an escape. Fugyuki's water dragon bullet. Hoshigaki Kisame's great shark bullet. But Danzo was also clear about this. Therefore, he deliberately surrounded some other hidden mist ninja. Clearly, he had the power to swiftly K*LL them, but he encircled without striking. He intended to use the lives of these people to restrain Kisame and Fugyuki. "We must create a breakthrough." Kisame nodded. "All right senpai, I'll cooperate with you." Immediately, Kisame formed hand seals. Water release, exploding water colliding wave jutsu. A powerful surge of water rushed upward. In an instant, the vicinity turned into a small lake. Water release, Water Fang Bullet Jutsu. Fugyuki lifted Water Dragon possession. Replicate. Replicate. Hundreds of Water Fang bullets appeared. Go. Then, all of them were thrown in one direction. Danzo's eyes flickered. With one set of hand seals, he can create so many Water Fang bullets. This is the ability of Water Dragon possession. Indeed, remarkable. We cannot allow Hidden Mist Village to continue like this with such ninjutsu. No wonder it could defeat Orochimaru. No wonder it could defeat Manda. But this time, I am fully prepared. My plan is absolutely foolproof. At that moment, a squad of Earth Release ninjas swiftly arrived to support. Earth Release, Earth-style wall jutsu. Multiple earth walls instantly erected. Simultaneously, two Yamanaka clan ninjas appeared. Mind-body switch jutsu. Then, shadow binding jutsu. Continuous control techniques ensued, including genjutsu from the Uchiha clan. Fugyuki managed to dodge to a relatively safe position in time, but Kisame, being too young and inexperienced, did not. Kisame. Danzo revealed a smile. At that very moment, not far away, Mangetsu, who was engaged in battle with Shisui, heard the agonized cries of the mist ninjas. After hesitating for a moment, enduring Shisui's attack forcefully without retaliating, Mangetsu used the recoil force to support towards the direction where the cries of the mist ninjas came from. Shisui hesitated for a moment, and decided not to pursue. Water release, water gun jutsu. After seeing the situation on the scene, Mangetsu attacked without hesitation. The attention of the Konoha ninjas was focused inward, momentarily relaxing their vigilance outward. Mangetsu's water gun jutsu pierced through two Konoha ninjas in an instant. Watch out! The nearby Konoha ninjas realized the danger and hurriedly attacked Mangetsu. Danzo frowned slightly. A little brat, from the Hojiki clan. Hojiki Izumo sighed as he saw Mangetsu's actions. Step by step, he approached the Konoha ninjas. I originally didn't want to intervene. But now, let me show you the power of thunder swords. Remember, Hoshigaki Kisame, Fugyuki Sukazan, this time you're saved by Hojiki Izumo from the Hojiki 7, using the thunder swords from the Hojiki 7 ninja swords. Chapter 123, Lightning Blade vs Danzo's Triple Combo. Lightning Release, Lightning Fang. Hojiki Izumo raised both thunder swords high in his hands. Two bolts of lightning crossed in mid-air, converged, and then surged to even higher heights. Next, they descended, splitting into countless paths. Like lightning strikes in the sky. Wherever people stood, these lightning strikes would attract. In an instant, dozens of Konoha ninjas were knocked down. Hojiki Izumo stood proudly. Konoha ninjas, remember this, the one who defeated you is named Hojiki Izumo. Looking at the fallen Konoha ninjas, Izumo already began to imagine in his mind the new heights he would bring to both the Hojiki 7 swordsmen and the Hojiki 7 ninja swords after today. Hoshigaki Kisame? Fugyuki Sukazan? After today, the name of Hojiki Izumo will shake the entire shinobi world. The name of Thunder Swords will not be weaker than any Zanpakuto. I will rebuild the glory of the Hojiki clan, relying on myself, Hojiki Izumo. Clan head, everyone, please rest assured that I will not let you down. The future of the Hojiki clan depends on Mangetsu. But the present of the Hojiki clan depends on me. Izumo smiled, looking disdainfully at the Konoha ninjas ahead. Lowly Konoha ninjas, you will serve as stepping stones to my reputation. Just then. Wind release, vacuum waves barrage. A mass of wind chakra condensed into a huge blade-like form. This was wind release, vacuum wave jutsu. And vacuum waves barrage multiplied these blades into numerous projectiles. Similar to water release, water fang bullet. Both techniques transform into numerous blades. Although they differ in form. Water fang bullet resembles more of a gun, while vacuum wave resembles more of a sword. However, both are highly offensive ninjutsu that, in large numbers, continuously and relentlessly pressure the enemy, causing confusion and panic. More importantly, there exists a certain restraining relationship between ninjutsu of different attributes. Water release restrains fire release. Lightning release restrains earth release. Earth release restrains water release. Wind release restrains lightning release. After obtaining the thunder swords, Hojiki Izumo became a lightning release ninja. Naturally, as a member of the Hojiki clan, he excels in water release ninjutsu as well. However, when facing wind release ninjutsu, Izumo still finds himself in a restrained state. Water cannot restrain wind. Izumo continuously stepped back. Wind release, vacuum great sphere. A tremendously large high-pressure wind sphere struck towards Izumo. At the same time, there are two rapidly rotating shuriken. Wind release, shuriken. Izumo was in a state of panic. Facing such powerful wind release ninjutsu, and facing so many of them, Izumo was completely unable to compete, let alone make a decent response in time. More importantly, Izumo did not anticipate at all that he would come under such an attack. Bang! Accompanied by a loud noise, Izumo was sent flying. He crashed onto the ground, sliding for over 10 meters before coming to a stop. Kisame and Fugyuki looked at the embarrassed Izumo, who had just slid awkwardly in front of them, and they both paused. Izumo-senpai. Kisame couldn't help but ask. Are you all right? At this moment, Izumo felt extremely embarrassed. He had just been talking to himself so confidently, preparing himself to become a hero. But in the blink of an eye, he was knocked down to the ground. He was embarrassed beyond measure. He hadn't even clearly seen who attacked him. And he happened to fall right in front of Hoshigaki Kisame and Fugyuki. How could he restore the glory of the Hoshiki clan like this? If he didn't bring shame to the Hoshiki clan, it would be considered fortunate. At this moment, Izumo didn't want to open his eyes at all, he just wanted to pass out directly. But given the current situation, Izumo knew he couldn't feign unconsciousness. I am currently surrounded by Konoha ninja as well. Pretending to be unconscious or sacrificing oneself is no different. I'm fine, Izumo struggled to get up. Danzo stepped forward, one step at a time. Originally, Danzo had no intention of taking action. According to the normal plan, there was no need for him to do so. Izumo was not supposed to give support to this side according to Danzo's plan. However, due to Mainjutsu's actions, Danzo was forced to intervene to deal with Izumo. But the outcome will not change. Just a mere Hoshiki Izumo, just a mere thunder swords. Danzo looked towards Kisame and the others, then commanded. Be swift and decisive. Yes, Danzo-sama. Receiving Danzo's orders, Konoha ninja's offensive immediately became more fierce. Hasn't Uehara-sama noticed yet? Izumo complained somewhat discontentedly. At this moment, Izumo finally saw that it was Shimura Danzo who had just attacked him. And in the current situation, not only were there more Konoha ninja than Mist ninja, but now with Shimura Danzo appearing, it would be extremely difficult for them to escape or break through. Fugyuki glanced at Izumo. Uehara-senpai must have been restrained over there. Shimura Danzo is extremely cunning. Since he has appeared, he must have made corresponding preparations. This is our own negligence, we fell into his ambush. But if Uehara-senpai can't come, maybe we can wait for someone else. Izumo hurriedly asked, who? Reiga, Lightning Fang, Reiga? Isn't that the ninjutsu of my thunder swords? Hoshiki Izumo subconsciously looked at the thunder swords in his hand. I mean not this one. I mean Kurosuke Reiga, Fugyuki clarified. Upon hearing this name, Hoshiki Izumo's expression immediately became complex. After all, Kurosuke Reiga was the previous user of the thunder swords, who held them the longest before they passed to the Kagaya clan and then to Kagaya Hikari, and finally to himself. But regarding Kurosuke Reiga, Izumo had mixed feelings. Izumo felt that Kurosuke Reiga's strength was inadequate, tarnishing the thunder swords. Later on, he couldn't even hold onto the thunder swords. Even Hikari was stronger than Reiga by some margin. And himself, even more so. Izumo believed he was much stronger than Reiga and could better unleash the power of the thunder swords. But now, Fugyuki actually said that Reiga would appear and support them, helping them escape? How could that be? What can that guy Reiga do? Izumo blurted out subconsciously. Fugyuki glanced at Izumo. Wait until Reiga arrives, then you'll know. Originally, Fugyuki wanted to explain, but Izumo's attitude made Fugyuki abandon the idea of explaining. Fugyuki could tell that Izumo looked down on Reiga. But no matter what, Reiga was also part of the same group of 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist. What did it mean to disrespect Kurosuke Reiga in front of him? Izumo completely didn't believe that Reiga's arrival could change anything. Moreover, Izumo had inquired about Reiga's situation and knew that after that defeat, he had been in a state of decline, spending days in dissipation, drinking heavily, staying up late, hardly recognizable. How much strength could he have left? His own strength was already insufficient. Danzo-sama, Mist ninja are approaching our position at high speed, reported a Hyuga ninja. How many? Danzo asked. A small team, 4 individuals. Not Uehara. No. Then there's no need to worry, Danzo said, crossing his arms. As long as Uehara doesn't come, no matter how many Mist ninja come to support, they won't be able to change the situation. Just then. Boom. A bolt of lightning struck down, and the Konoha ninja team that had come to intercept Reiga's squad instantly fell to the ground. Upon hearing the sound, Danzo quickly turned around. Lightning release? Ninja from the hidden cloud village. With thunder swords already in use by Izumo, the appearance of lightning release made Danzo subconsciously think it was a ninja from the hidden cloud village, causing him to worry. Currently, Konoha's situation was not favorable. The Hidden Mist Village's Shinigami squad, relying on Zanpakuto, not only boosted the village's morale but also its overall strength, especially after Orochimaru's defeat. Konoha had to admit that in the confrontation with the Hidden Mist Village, it had fallen into a disadvantage. In this situation, if the Hidden Cloud Village were to join forces with the Hidden Mist Village, Konoha's situation would worsen dramatically. However, Danzo quickly recognized the identity of the newcomers. Mist Ninja. Kurosuke Riga. Danzo squinted his eyes. Without thunder swords, he can still use such powerful lightning release. It seems I underestimated you, Kurosuke Riga. Compared to that person from the Hojiki clan, you are slightly stronger. However, facing me, how much can you lightning release ninjas really accomplish? My wind release counters your lightning release ninjas. Moreover, aside from this factor, my strength is far above yours. I am no longer beneath Hiruzen. I originally didn't intend to intervene much, but since you all are coming one by one, I don't mind defeating you all and using your lives to remind the ninja world of my terror. Fugyuki breathed a sigh of relief upon seeing Kurosuke Riga's arrival. Riga, you've finally come. Before Riga headed to the front lines, arrangements were made by the third Mizukage to notify Yagura and the others. Therefore, Fugyuki knew this information beforehand. Fugyuki was also aware that there weren't many who knew this information. Thus, Konoha was certainly unaware of this. With Yagura being deliberately distracted, Riga was one of the few who could bring about change. Kisame's gaze shifted to the long spear in Riga's hand. Is this the new ninjato crafted by Soma? Back on Forging Island, Kisame had a conversation with Jozo about Riga's current condition, which was extremely poor. In the absence of thunder swords and without a new ninjato, Kisame doubted whether Riga would dare to come to the front lines. To be honest, Kisame didn't hold Riga in high regard. Even though Riga was once his senpai and a respected member of the Hidden Mist 7 Ninja Swords, his performance after defeat had greatly disappointed Kisame. I wonder what kind of ninjato Soma has forged this time. I hope Riga senpai won't let us down. Danzo looked calmly at Riga. A mass of chakra condensed in Danzo's hand. Wind release, vacuum wave barrage. Wind release, vacuum great sphere. Wind release, shuriken. First, use vacuum waves barrage to suppress the opponent. Then, use vacuum great sphere to thoroughly defeat the opponent. The role of wind release shuriken is to restrict the opponent's movements, allowing vacuum great sphere to hit accurately. This set of techniques used by Danzo was very masterful. He even gave it a name. Danzo Triple Combo. Named after himself. Under normal circumstances, against opponents whose strength is insufficient, one round of Danzo's triple combo is usually enough to settle the matter. Just like what happened to Azuma earlier. Hojiki Azuma wielding thunder swords was not my match. You, Kurosuke Riga, who have lost thunder swords, are even less of a match for me. However, Danzo did not notice the lightning blade in Riga's hand. Facing Danzo's attacks, Riga did not panic. Riga knew that his strength had increased after obtaining the lightning blade, compared to when he used thunder swords. But now, Riga considers himself more important than the village. He is willing to engage in battle. However, he is unwilling to engage in uncertain and highly dangerous battles. Therefore, Riga does not want to confront Pakura, who defeated Jozo wielding the blue rose sword. He doesn't want to put himself in jeopardy. He doesn't want to face defeat. From Hidden Sand Village, Riga is particularly wary of 3 individuals. Raza, Pakura, and the Elder Cho. On Konoha's side, Riga is wary of several others. Sarutobi Hiruzen, the Sunin, and Minato Namikaze. However, Danzo is not among those Riga fears. In fact, Danzo's current strength does not reach the pinnacle. Without Hashirama's cells, he cannot use wood release, and his physical stamina and chakra are not particularly strong. Without the Sharingan, he cannot use Genjutsu. His main prowess lies only in wind release. Yet, in terms of wind release, Danzo is indeed formidable. Even in Hidden Sand Village, known for its expertise in wind release, there are few who can match Danzo. Hidden Sand Village's top ninjas excel in puppet jutsu, magnet release, and scorch release. There are many ninjas who know wind release, but few are strong. Not to mention, in the original storyline, Naruto developed wind release Rasen Shuriken in the future. There isn't any wind release in Hidden Sand Village that can compare. Unless we count Shikaku's drilling air bullet. Rega raised the lightning blade in his hand. He poured all the chakra in his body into it. Lightning blade, unleash. Full power lightning wave. Chapter 124, Not as good as Orochimaru. Danzo is not within the scope of concern for Rega, who has obtained the lightning blade. However, facing such a strong opponent for the first time after obtaining the lightning blade, Rega dared not be careless at all. Instead of holding back, Rega chose to go all out from the start. If possible, Rega wanted to channel all his chakra into the lightning blade. Back when facing Might-Do, Rega's biggest regret was underestimating him initially. He never expected Do to unleash such formidable strength. By the time he realized, it was too late. Do had single-handedly K*LLED 4 of them on the spot. Rega was lucky to escape with his life. That experience made Rega decide on a strategy: when facing a powerful opponent, or one whose capabilities are unknown, or one he cannot easily overwhelm, he would go all out from the beginning. No holding back. Every strike would be at full force. Just like Do did back then, regardless of the opponent's tactics, he would give it his all. A formidable aura emanated from Rega, catching Danzo's attention. Looks like he's ready to go all out. One strikes with all his might, showing self-awareness, knowing he is not my match. But, Rega, even if you go all out alone, what extent can you reach? Under my Danzo's triple combo, your lightning release won't withstand a single blow. Even if you endured my initial attack, can you still unleash a second lightning release like that? Suddenly, Danzo's expression changed. Because beyond Rega's aura, Danzo sensed another presence. It didn't belong to Rega, but rather, it was near him. More precisely, it was in Rega's hands. Danzo stared fixedly at the lightning blade in Rega's hands. Could it be that this is also a Zanpakuto? Hidden Mist Village has produced another new Zanpakuto. Thunder attribute. Stronger than thunder swords. How is this possible? In such a short time, this is too fast. The power of the lightning blade surged, blending with Rega's own strength. A beam of light emerged from the tip of the lightning blade, completely formed by condensed lightning. Danzo sensed a strong sense of imminent danger. Oh no! However, it was already too late for Danzo to dodge now. The speed of lightning was much faster than that of any other ninjutsu. Danzo-sama. Just then, two root ninjas suddenly appeared and stood in front of Danzo. Upon realizing the danger Danzo faced, they shielded him with their own bodies. Despite knowing the immense strength of Rega's attack, they were willing to sacrifice their lives for Danzo. Boom! Under the onslaught of such powerful lightning release, the two root ninjas lost their lives instantly, without even a hint of struggle, collapsing stiffly to the ground. Their skin had turned charcoal black. Even though the two root ninjas had helped absorb most of the damage from the lightning blade, Rega's strike was too powerful. It could be said that it had reached the level of a cage in its entirety. Not only did Rega expend most of his chakra, even the power of demon core within the lightning blade was significantly depleted. Danzo suddenly felt intense pain throughout his body. As the paralysis effect wore off, every part of him ached. Even his internal organs suffered severe damage. A trickle of blood seeped from Danzo's mouth. Rega. Danzo stared fixedly at Rega. You're still standing. Rega hadn't expected Konoha's ninja to willingly take the brunt of the attack for Danzo. Seeing Danzo only bleeding slightly from the corner of his mouth surprised him. He quickly began to consider his next move. If Danzo continued to fight, the previous Rega might have faced him head-on. But now, Rega just wanted to turn and run. However, Danzo also harbored fears. Before either could make a decision, Fugyuki and Kisame acted first. Water release, exploding water colliding wave jutsu. Water release, water dragon bullet jutsu. Fugyuki lifted his hand, summoning the water dragon possession, while glancing at Izumo. Hojiki Izumo. I know. At this moment, no matter how dissatisfied Izumo was with Zanpakuto or the Shinigami squad, he couldn't afford to stay inactive while surrounded. Lightning release, banquet of lightning. Two lightning bolts shot out at incredible speed. Alongside Kisame's water release and Fugyuki's water release, they surged towards the Konoha ninjas. A gap was opened in the encirclement of Konoha ninjas. Go! Fugyuki led the way, and all the hidden mist ninjas followed suit. Wait for me! Izumo, lagging behind, panicked and hurried to catch up, Soon, the hidden mist ninjas completely broke through the encirclement of Konoha ninjas. Danzo heard the commotion and looked over. In an instant, his face darkened to the extreme. Reiga. Fugyuki arrived first at Reiga's side. We're leaving. Danzo's eyes flickered uncertainly as he observed the situation. However, in the end, he did not give the order to pursue. Now that Fugyuki and the others had broken through the encirclement, continuing the pursuit would require more time, manpower, and inevitably result in more casualties. There was no guarantee they would successfully capture anyone. If Yagura's reinforcements arrived while they were still in pursuit, their mission would be even more likely to fail. There was also the risk of counterattacks from Yagura and the hidden mist ninjas. What was originally a failed ambush could turn into a disastrous defeat. This was unacceptable to Danzo. Return. Danzo turned around and headed towards the Konoha ninjas' base. For the Konoha ninjas who had participated in the ambush, their mood was somewhat subdued. They had been well prepared, yet they still failed. More importantly, the emergence of Reiga, a member of the supposedly fallen 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, had stood up once again, this time as a member of the Shinigami squad. An elite jonin gained a Zanpakuto. Moreover, he's among the cream of the crop among elite jonin. The attack just used by Reiga is one that few in Konoha can match. In Danzo's mind, he recalled the scene just now and instinctively compared the thunder swords to the lightning blade. A lightning attribute ninjato stronger than the thunder swords. Compared to it, thunder swords are simply inadequate. It can even suppress my wind release. Another strand Zanpakuto has appeared. Zanpakuto has already produced 3 outstanding jonin, including Kisame. With Kisame's age, in another year or 2, he will also step into the ranks of elite jonin. His current age range is the fastest time for ninja strength improvement. Kisame's talent surpasses Jozo, Fugyuki, and Reiga. Within Konoha, Kakashi is viewed as having the potential to grow into a figure like Konoha's White Fang in his prime, a true Kage. An individual capable of obtaining the title of Hokage's right hand. Kisame's superiority over Kakashi proves that his potential is at least on par with Kakashi. It's fortunate that Kagaya Nico stole a Zanpakuto and defected from Hidden Mist Village. Otherwise, with one more Kagaya Nico, the current Hidden Mist Village would be even more difficult to deal with. The annihilation of the Kagaya clan is definitely not a simple matter. Is this Kagaya Nico taking the blame for Hidden Mist Village, or did he discover a conspiracy and escape, being wrongly accused by Hidden Mist Village? It would be better if it's the latter. Danzo frowned deeply. Damn it. After this plan failed, it won't be easy to find such an opportunity again. Hidden Mist Village will certainly be on high alert. Reiga, thank you. If you hadn't arrived in time, we would have been in trouble this time. Danzo is extremely cunning, and the abilities of those Konoha ninjas are also quite disgusting. Regardless of the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan or the mind-body switch jutsu of the Yamanaka clan, Fugyuki is wary of them. The Nara clan's shadow binding jutsu is somewhat better, it can be dodged and escaped from. What's the name of this ninjato? Lightning Blade, Reiga said. Chief Uehara just finished forging it recently. It's a lightning-attributed ninjato, superior to thunder swords. However, I exerted all my strength in that attack on Danzo just now. My chakra is almost depleted. If Danzo continues to chase, I won't have the strength to fight again. The rumors from Hidden Mist Village prompted Reiga to want to demonstrate his strength after obtaining the lightning blade, to counter those spreading rumors and prove them wrong. However, Reiga doesn't want to showcase his strength too much. Being too strong means taking on more responsibility. Reiga's ideal state is to display his strength enough to silence those who mock him, yet avoid taking on too much responsibility for the village. But living more for oneself. Lightning blade, hey. Izumo scrutinized Reiga, his gaze falling on the lightning blade. Then he withdrew his gaze and looked at his own thunder swords. Stronger than thunder swords? Izumo felt somewhat unconvinced. But thinking back to Reiga's attack on Danzo earlier, Izumo had to admit that such an attack was something he couldn't possibly do. This made Izumo feel very bad. Upon receiving the thunder swords, Izumo's task was to showcase the strength of thunder swords on the battlefield, thereby gaining fame for the Hojiki 7 ninja swords. Initially, he did well, defeating many Konoha ninjas. This time was no exception. With one move, he knocked down dozens of Konoha ninjas. If nothing else had happened afterwards, he would surely have become famous. But Danzo's sudden appearance caught Izumo off guard. That alone was enough. However, Rega appeared and defeated Danzo again. In the end, I became a stepping stone. When people discuss, they will say that Rega is greater than Danzo, and Danzo is greater than Hoseki Izumo. The purpose of bringing Thunder Swords to the battlefield has not only failed, but also had a counterproductive effect. I have disappointed the clan head and our clan members. Hoseki Izumo tightened his grip on Thunder Sword's hilt. Rega glanced at Izumo, his gaze falling on Thunder Swords. Rega snorted coldly in his heart. The Kaguya clan snatched my Thunder Swords, and now the Hoseki clan also snatches Thunder Swords. But now, Kaguya Hikari is dead, and Hoseki Izumo is not on my level. I defeated Shimura Danzo. But Hoseki Izumo was easily defeated by Shimura Danzo. When the Hoseki clan gets this news, can they still be happy? Rega felt a wave of pleasure, anticipating seeing the expressions of the Hoseki clan members when they learned this news, almost wishing to see it right away. Indeed, accepting the lightning blade was the right decision. I am doing well. Those who mocked me will regret it. I owe Chief Uehara a lot. As for the village, I no longer need to care too much. Things turned out as Hoseki Izumo expected. Whether it was the Konoha camp or the Hidden Mist village camp, they are all discussing this battle. Rega has received high praise. And the lightning blade as well. Danzo has become the object of ridicule among the Mist Ninja. Many in the Konoha camp also harbor dissatisfaction towards Danzo. But it wasn't as intense as during the Orochimaru incident last time. After all, this time Danzo's ambush plan failed, but the losses were not as severe. As for Hoseki Izumo, there is only one statement. Easily defeated by Danzo. Even the Hoseki 7 ninja swords were hardly mentioned. Hoseki Izumo's accomplishment of defeating dozens of Konoha ninja did not attract much discussion either. In the Hidden Mist village. Within the Hoseki clan, everyone's mood plummeted to an extreme low. Now it's confirmed that Blacksmith did it deliberately. As soon as he learned about our plan to send Hoseki Izumo with Thunder Swords to the front lines, he immediately forged a similar lightning attribute ninjato and deliberately gave it to Rega. It was all to make our plan fail. It was to suppress our Hoseki clan. This is too targeted. This is too much. An infuriated middle-aged person said indignantly, suddenly looking at Hoseki Kazuhiko. Clan head, what should we do now? Hoseki Kazuhiko fell into silence. Now, he didn't know what to do either. Hiramekura suits Hoseki Mangetsu, but Hoseki Mangetsu is too young. The abilities of Thunder Swords were suitable for display, but now Soma has created a lightning blade. The lightning blade does indeed surpass the Thunder Swords. Rega wielding the lightning blade can demonstrate much greater dominance compared to Hoseki Izumo. Among the three swords, only Samehada remains. However, no ninja suitable for Samehada has been found up to now. Let's stick to our original plan. That's what suits us best and allows us to fully utilize the power of the ninjato. The Thunder Swords plan was somewhat forced. If our future ninjato follow the Thunder Swords approach, we won't be able to fully unleash the abilities of the Hoseki 7 ninja swords. This plays right into that blacksmith scheme. Let's set both the potential of the Hoseki 7 ninja swords and the Hoseki 7 to their maximum. Since he wants to target our Hoseki clan, let's give him a hard time now. But our Hoseki clan will inevitably rise. Leaving aside the rest, as long as Mangetsu can grow and given a bit more time, reaching the level of Genjutsu Sama from back then isn't difficult. Coupled with Hiramekura, Mangetsu is the only suitable cage for the village in the future. When Mangetsu becomes Mizukage, who will dare to look down on my Hoseki clan? Who will dare to underestimate the Hoseki 7? Who will dare to underestimate the Hoseki 7 ninja swords? Will that blacksmith still dare to target my Hoseki clan? With that, Hoseki Kazuhiko paused for a moment. Izumo still lacks some proficiency in using the Thunder Swords. Later on, intensify the special training for the clan members. My Hoseki clan is not so easily defeated. The current endurance of humiliation is for future glory. The ninjato is only a part of a ninja's strength, the user is equally important. And our Hoseki clan, along with the 7 ninja swords, are undoubtedly the most compatible. On the other side, Forging Island. Just as Soma emerged from the heart of Forging Island, he suddenly saw the numbers in the reputation column on the semi-transparent screen in front of him increase by several hundred, causing his eyebrows to raise. Who did Rega defeat? Not impressive at all. He appears much worse than Orochimaru. Chapter 125, Obito vs 3rd Mizukage. Soon, news came from the battlefield. After learning about it, Ao immediately informed Soma. Shimura Danzo. Soma showed a look of realization. Danzo was actually a character with a strong presence. He called himself the darkness of Konoha. He was the root of Konoha. Even more important than Hiruzen, the trunk of Konoha. Sacrificing himself for the sake of Konoha. Not seeking fame or profit, only for Konoha. This was Danzo's self-assessment. As for the actual situation, Danzo's judgment was not accurate. Moreover, Danzo never became Hokage, not because he didn't like it, but because he couldn't. With Hiruzen already dead, the people of Konoha would rather have Jiraiya or Tsunade take the position. It wasn't until Tsunade was severely injured and comatose that Danzo found the opportunity to push himself into the position, becoming the acting Hokage for a few days. He indulged in the thrill of being Hokage. However, this acting Hokage was not recognized by many. Not only did he not gain the approval of the daimyo of the Land of Fire, but even many ninjas within Konoha did not recognize Danzo. No wonder. Even disregarding that Danzo was outdated. Even at his peak, Danzo's reputation was not as good as Orochimaru's. More than 200 points to go before reaching 1000 reputation points. However, with so many workers under me now, raising the 200 plus reputation points is still quite easy. Just in time for me to improve my forging technique. Entering the forge. Waterfall hammer. Soma swung the hammer in his hand, striking the metal ingot on the forging table hard. Compared to the water flow hammer, the waterfall hammer's power is much greater. Clang! The sound of the strike echoed like a bell. It's done. Soma smiled. River flow hammer isn't far off either. However, the second attribute chakra smelting and the earth core polishing technique, I haven't made any progress on these two. They need more time. Or perhaps other opportunities. Once I master the river flow hammer, I will prioritize researching the earth core polishing technique. This will greatly help me improve my forging technique level. Mizukage's building. The third Mizukage held a document in his hand, his face filled with uncontrollable joy and pride. Jozo severely injured Pakura. Yagura, Fugyuki, Jozo, and Kisame, the four of them defeated Orochimaru. Reiga repelled Shimura Danzo. Good, good. When the Zanpakutos forged by Soma appeared, our hidden mist village has been increasingly successful. Unhealable blade, Kiryai Kimonji. Ice blade, blue rose sword. Lightning spear, lightning blade. Blood blade, water dragon possession. In terms of strength, the Shinigami squad is already stronger than the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist. The Zanpakutos are already superior to the hidden mist 7 ninja swords. Lord Second did not achieve so many consecutive victories against Konoha, especially while simultaneously fighting against the hidden sand village. In terms of achievements, I am not much inferior to Lord Second. Very soon, I will surpass him. I still have time. Surpassing Lord Second is inevitable. In terms of personal strength, the Skeleton Emperor's ability is extremely strong. As long as I get close, as long as my attack hits, then no matter who it is, they will not escape death. But I need an opportunity to prove my strength. A sufficiently strong opponent. Orochimaru, Jiraiya, Hiruzen, Oniki. Aside from these four, the third Mizukage looked down on others. Either they were not strong enough or they were too young. The third Mizukage believed that only by *ling these seasoned strong opponents could he prove his strength. Speaking of which, Konoha's foundation is really deep. Under Hiruzen's leadership, the declining Konoha still has so many top-tier ninjas. Really enviable. Hiruzen's luck is too good. Although the performance of the Shinigami squad members is quite good, it has not yet reached the level of Orochimaru and the others. They defeated Orochimaru, but it was due to their numerical advantage. Suddenly, the third Mizukage felt something was off and instinctively looked out the window. The third Mizukage frowned. Someone there? Or was it just an illusion? With a wave of his hand, an ANBU ninja immediately entered. Mizukage-sama. Go check in that direction. Yes, Mizukage-sama. Soon, the ANBU ninja returned to report. Mizukage-sama, there is nothing unusual. The third Mizukage nodded. I understand, you may go. Yes. After the ANBU ninja left, the third Mizukage glanced out the window again. It seems it was just an illusion. My mental state hasn't been good lately, after all, I'm getting old. A sense of urgency suddenly arose in the third Mizukage's heart. In the past, the third Mizukage wouldn't have felt this way. But now, with goals in sight and the hope of surpassing the second Mizukage in both achievements and strength, the third Mizukage was very eager to accomplish these two goals. What the ANBU ninja didn't know was that after he left, an whirlpool suddenly appeared in the once empty air. Immediately, a figure walked out of the swirling whirlpool wearing a black cloak with red clouds, wearing a spiral mask. Obito looked in the direction of the Mizukage's building, his face grim. Third Mizukage. Obito's hatred was undisguised. By controlling a hidden mist ninja through genjutsu and infiltrating the hidden mist village, Obito sought revenge. Rin's death brought immense pain to Obito. Even though Madara spoke of the Eye of the Moon plan, a plan that, if realized, would create a world where Rin was safe and he could live happily with her, this was Obito's dream. Therefore, to achieve this, Obito was willing to do everything he could to implement Madara's plan. However, this did not mean that Obito would let go of his hatred for the Hidden Mist Village. On the contrary, Obito's hatred for the Hidden Mist Village only grew stronger over time. Among those in the Hidden Mist Village, the one Obito hated the most was the third Mizukage. According to the information Obito had obtained, it was the third Mizukage who decided to implant the three tails into Rin, executing the plan to destroy Konoha. This decision was made by the third Mizukage. In other words, the third Mizukage was the main culprit responsible for Nohara Rin's death. I can never forgive the person who *LLED Rin. I will make you all die. I'll start with you, third Mizukage. Next, it will be the entire Hidden Mist Village. You wanted to sacrifice Rin's life to win the war, but I will ensure that you do not achieve victory. You wanted to use Rin's life to strengthen your village, I will make sure that the Hidden Mist Village becomes weaker and weaker. Obito moved closer to the Mizukage's building. Night fell. The sky darkened. A complex pattern swirled in Obito's eyes. Genjutsu, Sharingan. A wave of Genjutsu power targeted the third Mizukage. However, just as the Genjutsu power hit the third Mizukage, something seemed to be triggered on the third Mizukage. Who? The third Mizukage awoke with a start. Obito quickly withdrew his gaze. His entire form disappeared into an invisible vortex. Back in Kamui's dimension, Obito frowned. Even my Mangekyo Sharingan can't control him. Does this third Mizukage have some special ability? But according to Madara-sama's information, this third Mizukage is supposed to be incompetent, unable to govern the village or excel in personal strength, the shame of the Mizuages. Among the third cages, the Mizukage is the worst. Could it be a ninja tool? No, that's not right. The third Mizukage doesn't have any special ninja tools on him at the moment. The Skeleton Emperor is present, but it is not in the third Mizukage's hands, it is placed in a corner. Usually, the third Mizukage doesn't use the Skeleton Emperor and just handles documents. Maybe the third Mizukage has a special ability that makes him immune to Genjutsu control. This disrupts my original plan. Obito's eyes flickered. Initially, Obito intended to try controlling the third Mizukage with Genjutsu, and then, through him, control the entire Hidden Mist Village to weaken it as revenge. For example, by intensifying the brutality of the Bloody Mist. Or by falsely executing an elite ninja. However, in this situation, that plan won't work. If I can't control the third Mizukage with Genjutsu as my puppet, then he deserves to die. Fine, let's just *LL him. Let his death atone for Rin's. Obito made his decision. However, *ling the third Mizukage wouldn't be easy. In a one-on-one fight, Obito was confident. With his Mangekyo Sharingan, transplanted Hashirama cells, and the power of fused white Zetsu, he had a good chance. But this was the heart of the Hidden Mist Village. Once a battle started, it would inevitably alert others. To *LL the third Mizukage, my own strength isn't enough. But if I add Nagato and Konan, it will be. However, to persuade Nagato and Konan to go to the Hidden Mist Village and *LL the third Mizukage, I can't use revenge for Rin as an excuse. I need another reason. Obito contemplated. In front of Nagato and Konan, I am Madara-sama. Madara-sama's goal is to realize the Eye of the Moon plan, to eliminate war from this world and create an absolutely perfect world. This is also what Nagato and Konan desire. Only the Eye of the Moon plan can be used as the reason. So, it will be on the grounds that I need to control a ninja village, but since the third Mizukage cannot be controlled by Genjutsu, that's why he needs to be *LLED. After that, another person will succeed as Mizukage, whom I will then control. Soon, Obito's orders reached Nagato and Konan. The two looked at each other. Control the hidden mist village. K*LL the third Mizukage. Have someone else succeed as Mizukage, then control them with genjutsu. The two hesitated about Obito's orders. Nevertheless, they set off for the land of water. Upon meeting Obito, the two expressed their doubts. Madara-sama, do we really have to do this? Nagato and Konan were somewhat skeptical of Obito claiming to be Madara, but they felt there was no need to question him directly, so they verbally acknowledged Obito as Uchiha Madara. Therefore, they adopted the title Madara-sama. Only by controlling a ninja village can we have the potential to provoke the entire shinobi world. Among many ninja villages, Hidden Mist Village is the most suitable. It is located in a remote area. The ninja strength is not considered very strong. Plus, under the authoritarian rule within Hidden Mist Village, controlling a Mizukage is equivalent to controlling the entire village. These are conditions that other ninja villages do not have. As for the uniqueness of the third Mizukage, even with my genjutsu, he cannot be controlled. However, the next successor as Mizukage will certainly not have such uniqueness. Obito's words actually make some sense. Konoha is definitely not suitable, as there are too many Byakugan users who could easily see through his plans. While Hidden Mist Village also has Byakugan users, there is only one. In Hidden Sand Village, Raza's authority is not as high. Many times, Chiyo's words are more effective. Hidden Rock Village and Hidden Cloud Village have strong power, but they also come with higher risks. Only Hidden Mist Village is the most suitable. So, Madara-sama, what do we need to do? I will use genjutsu to control a ninja from Hidden Mist Village, lure third Mizukage outside or to the outskirts of Hidden Mist Village, and that's when we strike, said Obito. Nagato and Konan exchanged glances. Understood. Obito's control was on the ANBU ninja who was previously dispatched by third Mizukage upon sensing someone suspiciously observing, and it was this ninja who brought back the message to third Mizukage. There's a suspicious intruder lurking on the village outskirts. Yes, Mizukage-sama. Our ANBU ninja have surrounded them, awaiting your orders before taking action. Take me there. Yes. The ANBU ninja led the way. Third Mizukage gripped the skeleton emperor. Third Mizukage was indeed in need of a battle to showcase his strength. Defeating an invader wouldn't elevate his reputation much, but third Mizukage saw it as an opportunity to test his true current strength. After obtaining the skeleton emperor, besides cutting a fish and teaming up with Soma and Ao in the Forging Master's spiritual land to K*LL Mountain, third Mizukage had not engaged in any other battles. I hope this infiltrator isn't too weak. Otherwise, I won't be able to gauge how much my strength has improved compared to before. Give me a satisfying battle. I, third Mizukage, will establish my reputation through strength starting today. The ANBU ninja came to a halt. Mizukage-sama, we're here. At that moment, three figures appeared from different directions, surrounding the third Mizukage. Third Mizukage's expression turned grim. Are you betraying the village? Third Mizukage glared at the ANBU ninja, while also blaming himself for being too careless. After obtaining the Skeleton Emperor and Hidden Mist Village winning several consecutive wars, I relaxed my vigilance and became complacent. It was this complacency that led to such a lax attitude. These few, who are they? Are they here for me? Konoha, Hidden Cloud Village, Hidden Sand Village, or Hidden Rock Village? They even deliberately changed their attire and they do not seem like renowned ninjas. But trying to ambush me won't be so easy. Chapter 126, Decay, Skeleton Emperor. Third Mizukage tightened his grip on the handle of the Skeleton Emperor's axe. Suddenly, the ANBU ninja who had guided Third Mizukage here made a move. Under Obito's control, he flashed forward and appeared in front of Third Mizukage, wielding a kunai aimed at him. Water release, Water Fang Blade. Water surged from Third Mizukage's hand, transforming into a sharp blade that intercepted the ANBU ninja's kunai, striking first. Splurt! In an instant, it pierced through the ANBU ninja's body. However, Obito paid no heed. After all, this ANBU ninja belonged to the Hidden Mist Village, controlled by Obito through genjutsu. With this ANBU ninja's death creating a distraction for Third Mizukage, Obito considered it quite fitting. Attack! An astonishing aura erupted from Obito. In the absence of Sharingan genjutsu, he was not lacking in other methods. Moreover, pain controlled by Nagato and Konan were equally formidable. One possessed the Rinnegan, while the other wielded special paper-style secret jutsu. The three of them simultaneously attacked Third Mizukage, putting immense pressure on him. Water Release, Water Wall Jutsu. Third Mizukage used Water Wall Jutsu to block Konan's attack. Then, wielding Skeleton Emperor, he swiftly charged towards where Obito was. Bansho Tenin. At that moment, Pain raised his hand. A powerful gravitational force descended upon Third Mizukage, forcibly halting his movement. He couldn't get any closer to Obito and was being pulled towards Pain's location. Fire Release, Violent Wave Wild Dance. The fusion of Fire Release and Kamui created a storm-like blaze, astonishingly powerful and covering an enormous area. In an instant, it engulfed Third Mizukage's entire figure. At the same time, Konan's explosive tags flew in. Boom! 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 A series of explosions rang out. When the explosions subsided, Shinra Tensei. Pain raised his hand. Obito had thought that under the combined attack of the three, Third Mizukage would be beyond saving. But what Pain's Shinra Tensei pushed out wasn't Third Mizukage's corpse. Instead, it was a massive water sphere. To be precise, it was Water Prison Jutsu. While engulfed by Obito's attack, Third Mizukage hastily used Water Prison Jutsu to encase himself. This allowed him to withstand the attacks of flames and explosive tags relatively intact. Utilizing the force of Pain's Shinra Tensei, Third Mizukage swiftly arrived before Obito, wielding Skeleton Emperor, and swung it towards him. Obito's pupils contracted. Kamui. The axe blade of Skeleton Emperor pierced directly through Obito's body. What? Third Mizukage was astonished. Hydrification Jutsu. No, this isn't Hydrification Jutsu. Hydrification Jutsu transforms the body into water to potentially negate physical damage. But Obito seemed to have turned his body into air. Third Mizukage's attack missed, and Obito didn't waste the opportunity. After gaining the ability of Kamui, Obito realized its excellent use in defense and counterattacks. Facing the opponent's attacks, he evades with Kamui. When the opponent thinks they have succeeded, his own attacks have a chance to hit them. Wood Release, Cutting Jutsu. A wooden branch stabbed directly into Third Mizukage's body, rapidly growing and spreading within him. Previously, Obito used this ninjutsu to K*LL many Mist Village ninjas. The resilient branches spreading inside a person's body cause immense damage. Ninjas themselves do not have strong defensive capabilities, which are even weaker internally. In this situation, once branches spread within a person's body, it almost spells a death sentence for that person. However, Third Mizukage's situation clearly caught Obito off guard. The moment the branches pierced his body, Third Mizukage immediately used Skeleton Emperor to cut them off. The power of decay instantly rendered the branches inert. Turning his body, Third Mizukage used the rotation to swing Skeleton Emperor at Obito again. Obito got pushed back and retreated. Third Mizukage's eyes flickered. Was he unable to use that ability again? Does it require a cooldown? It seems this person's ability from earlier also had a limitation. After realizing this, Third Mizukage relaxed slightly. If the opponent's abilities have time limits, then there might be a chance to escape. Fortunately, there's Skeleton Emperor. It isolates the power of Wood Release. This guy is from the Senju clan. Senju clan, when did another Wood Release ninja appear? These people are indeed Konoha's ninja. Because during this period, my Hidden Mist Village has had consecutive victories, so they're resorting to this method to try and K*LL me the Mizukage, hoping to put my Hidden Mist Village and Hidden Sand Village in the same predicament. Poor imitators. My Hidden Mist Village, how could we be so easily defeated? But Third Mizukage's gaze turned towards Pain and Konan. What are the abilities of these two secret jutsu? If Konoha has these three strong ones, why not directly send them to the battlefield? Could there be some conspiracy? Plus those eyes look somewhat strange. Third Mizukage noticed Pain's eyes. As for Obito, upon realizing that Sharingan Genjutsu was ineffective against Third Mizukage, he abandoned that tactic. He didn't even engage in a staring contest with Third Mizukage. That axe. Obito looked at Skeleton Emperor, his eyes narrowing slightly. It's not an ordinary axe. Could it also be a Zanpakuto? To think it can even suppress the power of Wood Release. If we K*LL Third Mizukage, we can take this ninjato. Third Mizukage's strength is much greater than the intelligence indicated. Especially with this special ninjato, I feel danger. But it's almost time to end this. Even if you were twice as strong, you wouldn't be a match for the three of us. Obito gestured towards Pain's direction. Konan frowned slightly. Obito's intention was for Nagato to go all out next. Pain going all out was naturally powerful. However, this was also a heavy burden on Nagato. Using a ninjutsu would bring about great side effects. Most ninjas consume chakra. Nagato was consuming nothing short of his life. But Nagato agreed. Next moment, Nagato controlled Pain to charge towards Third Mizukage proactively. Water release. Suddenly, another Pain appeared out of nowhere and placed both hands forward. Fujitsu-kyuan. In an instant, the water release used by Third Mizukage was absorbed. Third Mizukage couldn't help but pause. Konan's fingers moved swiftly. A large number of explosive tags, unnoticed, surrounded Third Mizukage. The first Pain raised his hand. Bansho Tenin. Third Mizukage's body was attracted towards Pain. Third Mizukage tried to swing Skeleton Emperor towards Pain, but his movements were severely restricted by the explosive tags entangling his body. Chakra absorption. The second Pain placed a hand on Third Mizukage's shoulder, and a strong suction force fell upon him. Chakra absorption technique. Third Mizukage's expression changed abruptly. Third Mizukage is no stranger to this ability. Within the Hidden Mist village, many ninjas excel in this ninjutsu. Among the Hidden Mist 7 ninja swords, Same Hada stands out in this regard. Third Mizukage felt his chakra leaking out as if a dam has burst within his body. The strength within his body visibly declined at an alarming rate. Damn it! Third Mizukage struggled desperately, but to no avail. Being on the outskirts of the Hidden Mist village, Obito and his companions have certainly made arrangements. Even if ninjas from within the Hidden Mist village sense the commotion here and attempt to support him, they won't arrive anytime soon. This plunged Third Mizukage's heart into despair. These guys! Their abilities are bizarre, their strength formidable, and they employ cunning ambush tactics. Am I really going to die here today? Third Mizukage felt extreme unwillingness in his heart. I was so close to surpassing Lord Second. At this critical moment, Obito, seeing Third Mizukage under control, unwillingly attempted again. Mangekyo Sharingan. The intricate pattern in his eye slowly rotated. Yet, there's still no response. Whenever Obito's genjutsu power descends, another genjutsu force appears on Third Mizukage's body. The two forces clash. Finally, Third Mizukage saw clearly into Obito's eyes. Sharingan. How is this possible? How could one person possess both Wood Release and Sharingan? An Uchiha and Senju hybrid? But how could these two ninja clans possibly intermarry? And produce such a successful descendant? What is Konoha really up to? Realizing his inevitable fate today, Third Mizukage not only feels unwillingness but also strong concern about the impact these individuals might have on the current situation in the Hidden Mist village. As for the other three ninjas with considerable strength, Third Mizukage isn't too worried. Hidden Mist village has Uehara Soma. A Zanpakuto from him can create an elite ninja. However, upon seeing the combination of Sharingan and Wood Release, Third Mizukage couldn't help but worry. Someone combining the strengths of Uchiha and Senju, what heights could they reach in the future? Will another Uchiha Madara or Senju Hashirama emerge? Who in the Hidden Mist village could withstand this? No, who in the entire ninja world could withstand this? Konoha has grand ambitions. Even in death, I must spread this news and prepare the village. Third Mizukage gritted his teeth. But just as Third Mizukage prepared to act, Konan noticed. She gestured and Pain stepped back. Detonate. Konan detonated the explosive tags on Third Mizukage's body. A single explosion, but it was immensely powerful. Boom. It was akin to the ambush Shikamaru set for Haiden, where his entire body was covered in explosive tags, reducing even the immortal Haiden to dust. Only a head remained. Yet Konan used explosive tags in quantities surpassing even Shikamaru's. Soon, the smoke dispersed. The law of smoke without injury failed this time. More explosive tags, stronger explosions, made Third Mizukage's situation worse than Haiden's. Even the head was pulverized. Obito looked at Skeleton Emperor on the ground, approached, and prepared to pick it up. Pain and Konan also withdrew their gazes. In the eyes of Obito and his two companions, the battle had already ended. Third Mizukage was already beyond death. Rin, I finally avenged you. But this is far from enough. It's just the beginning. I will make everyone involved in this pay with their lives. However, just as Obito gripped the handle of Skeleton Emperor, suddenly, Nagato seemed to sense something and quickly controlled Pain to look over. They saw Obito, who had just gripped the handle of Skeleton Emperor, suddenly blasted away as if struck by a tremendous force, unable to react at all. At the same time, a faint apparition appeared, gripping Skeleton Emperor. The apparition looked at Obito. Then, it looked at Pain and Konan. At this moment, Pain and Konan finally noticed that the appearance of the apparition was exactly the same as the deceased Third Mizukage. What's going on? The two were completely unaware of the situation. Clearly, Third Mizukage had already been K*LLED, yet here he appeared again. And this state was extremely eerie. Third Mizukage looked at Skeleton Emperor in his hand. An unprecedented feeling emerged in Third Mizukage's heart. It feels completely different from before. I sense a stronger affinity. Stronger power. Now I truly have full control over Skeleton Emperor. After death, I gained control. A bitter smile appeared on Third Mizukage's face. It seems that my goal may not be unattainable after all. Immediately after, Third Mizukage's expression turned into anger. You three will all die. Suddenly, a powerful aura erupted from the Third Mizukage. It was much stronger than any previous instance, causing Konan, Nagato, and Obito to feel fear. K*LL. Third Mizukage raised Skeleton Emperor high. Decay, Skeleton Emperor. The next moment, Third Mizukage threw Skeleton Emperor towards the first Pain. Nagato felt an unprecedented momentum locking onto his Pain puppet. It seemed no matter how he tried to dodge, he couldn't evade this attack. Nagato! Be careful! Konan shouted loudly. A large number of paper sheets, manipulated by Konan, blocked in front of Pain. Meanwhile, Obito rushed in at incredible speed. Kamui. Chapter 127, Great Detective Third Mizukage. With an unmatched momentum, Skeleton Emperor crushed towards Pain. In Third Mizukage's view, both Pain and Obito posed significant threats to Hidden Mist Village. One is a hybrid of Senju and Uchiha lineage. The other, while Third Mizukage couldn't discern the identity, displayed extremely formidable strength. Moreover, Uchiha Obito possessed the power of intangibility. Therefore, Third Mizukage targeted Pain immediately. With full force. Before even approaching, Nagato sensed the extraordinary power through Pain. Nagato controlled Pain to raise his hand. A mass of chakra condensed into a shield-like form, blocking the front. However, facing the current state of Skeleton Emperor was like fragile paper. It was instantly shattered into pieces. Crack! Skeleton Emperor's axe blade pierced through the chakra shield and landed on Pain's palm. That arm was effortlessly split apart. Skeleton Emperor continued forward. Nagato's expression changed. Besides Pain's hand being slashed, Nagato also sensed another force. Pain's arm continued to wither and decay, spreading upwards. What kind of ability is this? Nagato's face showed a hint of fear involuntarily. Finally, Uchiha Obito arrived behind Pain. At the same time, Konan also came to support. Obito raised his hand, placing one on Pain's shoulder and the other on Konan's. An invisible vortex appeared. The second Pain approached voluntarily. The next moment, the four figures were all drawn into it. Thud! Skeleton Emperor hit the ground. Third Mizukage's expression fluctuated. This bizarre ability. Is it a space type? Other than Minato Namikaze, there appears to be another ninja proficient in space ninjutsu and he's a hybrid of Senju and Uchiha. What kind of conspiracy is hidden within Konoha? If only I could K*LL them. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time. Third Mizukage glanced back. The translucent figure of Obito became increasingly faint. Next moment, Third Mizukage swung Skeleton Emperor vigorously towards Forging Island. At the moment Skeleton Emperor soared, Third Mizukage's ethereal form turned into a streak of light, merging into Skeleton Emperor. Thud! Ao's expression changed. There's something. He quickly used the Byakugan to look over. Skeleton Emperor. Soma emerged. Ao-senpai, what's going on? Skeleton Emperor flew over out of nowhere, but Mizukage-sama isn't here. It's likely something has happened. Where is it? That way. Ao led the way. Soon, they arrived at the landing spot of Skeleton Emperor. A faint voice sounded. Is it Ao and Soma? Immediately after, the ethereal form of third Mizukage appeared, much fainter and weaker than before. Mizukage-sama. Yes, it's me. Mizukage-sama, what happened? Third Mizukage fell silent for a moment. It's a long story, Soma. Take Skeleton Emperor to a safe place for now. Ao, head to the Mizukage's building. Notify the ANBU ninjas. Tell them to follow my orders for the entire village to be on high alert. Soma and Ao exchanged glances. Ao nodded. Understood, Mizukage-sama. He quickly turned and left. Meanwhile, Soma guided Skeleton Emperor into his forging room. Soma was somewhat surprised by third Mizukage's condition. He had been fine just moments ago. But now, third Mizukage seemed like a restless spirit attached to Skeleton Emperor. Mizukage-sama, what exactly happened? He asked. It's Konoha's attackers, third Mizukage said. 4 assailants from Konoha came. They manipulated an ANBU ninja, brought me to the village outskirts, and set up an ambush nearby. All 4 of them are incredibly strong. One is a hybrid of Senju and Uchiha, proficient in wood release, possesses Sharingan, and is SK*LLED in space ninjutsu. One is a ninja capable of absorbing ninjutsu and chakra. Another is a ninja who can wield powerful impact and attraction forces. The last is a female ninja who uses explosive tags as her method. Soma, thank you for the Skeleton Emperor that you crafted. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to communicate with you here now. I'd be nothing but cold, shattered corpse fragments. Konoha hides too deep. They possess such formidable power, yet they've never displayed it on the battlefield. No one knows if they have even greater strength. Soma was intrigued. From third Mizukage's descriptions, Soma could likely guess who these individuals were. Uchiha Obito. Nagato, with 2 pain puppets, it's highly probable Nagato is nearby too. Konan. From third Mizukage's perspective, it's easy to believe that these 4 are indeed Konoha's ninjas. After all, Sharingan and wood release both belong to Konoha. And this time, clearly, Obito brought Nagato and Konan to seek revenge for Rin. Soma didn't know the exact time of third Mizukage's death in the original storyline. He was unclear about the details of his death. All he knew was that after third Mizukage's death, Yagura succeeded as Mizukage and became a Jinchuriki, but was later controlled by Obito and turned into a puppet. Soma had previously guessed that third Mizukage's death might be related to Obito. But he didn't expect Obito to come to Hidden Mist Village for revenge at this time. And he brought 2 helpers. He also deliberately controlled the ANBU with Genjutsu. For third Mizukage, this was an absolute must-K*LL situation. Obito, Nagato, Konan. Their abilities were all too strong and too unique. I guessed that Obito might seek revenge on Hidden Mist Village. But I didn't expect it to happen so soon. Even if I had warned earlier, it wouldn't have changed anything. Soma remembered the last time about the Jinchuriki issue and how he had tried to indirectly warn third Mizukage. However, third Mizukage interrupted that topic and instead instructed Soma to focus his energy on forging. The village affairs didn't require Soma's excessive attention. To Soma, third Mizukage held him in high regard. But regarding village affairs, third Mizukage seemed reluctant to involve Soma too much. In this case, in the original storyline, third Mizukage was probably indeed K*LLED in revenge by Obito. He K*LLED third Mizukage to avenge Rin. And then he controlled the 4th Mizukage Yagura. Third Mizukage continued, but after my death, I improved my control over Skeleton Emperor and used it to severely wound one of them. They should have temporarily retreated by now. Soma furrowed his brows slightly. The compatibility between third Mizukage and Skeleton Emperor was merely good. And barely reaching that level of good. Coupled with Skeleton Emperor's uniqueness. Therefore, third Mizukage's progress in controlling Skeleton Emperor was relatively slow. Listening to third Mizukage say this, Soma couldn't help but form a guess. Could it be that Zanpakuto, which belongs to Shinigami, the Hollow's tools, are easier to control for ninja after death? It's very likely. After all, ninjas who have died are closer to Shinigami and Hollows. Soma continued listening to third Mizukage. But that blow also nearly exhausted my spiritual power. After being K*LLED, I thought my soul would dissipate, but unexpectedly I was attracted by Skeleton Emperor, as if parasitizing it. I feel that my spiritual power is slowly recovering. But very slowly. I estimate it will take a long time before I can recover to the state I was in before death. Soma, do all Zanpakuto have this ability? Soma shook his head. Skeleton Emperor is a genuine Zanpakuto with such abilities, which seems reasonable. Kiryu Blue Rose Sword, Soma found them impossible to have this ability. Mizukage-sama, perhaps it's because of Skeleton Emperor's special materials that it has such abilities. Is that so? Third Mizukage suddenly felt relieved. It's good then, Skeleton Emperor accepts me. Clearly, surpassing second Mizukage was within reach. With just a few more years, third Mizukage would have been certain. Under these circumstances, a sudden inexplicable attack caused his death, leaving third Mizukage extremely frustrated. However, his soul could attach itself to Skeleton Emperor. He could still watch over the ninja world, watch over Hidden Mist Village. This made third Mizukage feel a little better. By the way, I remembered something. Earlier, someone came to our Hidden Mist Village and used a genjutsu on me. The plan for Konoha with the Three Tails no Hara Rin was influenced by that person's genjutsu, making me formulate the plan. I kept saying, how could I have arranged things like that? Konoha not only possesses secret jutsu of the Uzumaki clan but also has members of the Uzumaki clan. The plan with Three Tails no Hara Rin and the release in Konoha is no different from directly giving Konoha a Jinchuriki. Not only does it fail to K*LL enemies, it also turns into aiding the enemy. Without surprise, that person should also be an Uchiha. A ninja from Konoha. That plan most likely intends for our Hidden Mist Village to deliver the Three Tails. Unfortunately, that no Hara Rin and Kakashi were too foolish, actually choosing to commit suicide. But that helped our Hidden Mist Village. Among the four who came this time, that hybrid of Senju and Uchiha also attempted to control me with genjutsu, but failed, perhaps due to Skeleton Emperor. However, they certainly won't let it go at that. It's very likely they will come again. We must think ahead and prepare countermeasures. Third Mizukage deduced, filled with extreme caution. In third Mizukage's view, dealing a heavy blow to them was a good move. However, while the opponent only suffered severe injuries, third Mizukage ended up dead. Moreover, when third Mizukage placed Obito and others in the camp of Konoha, this false Konoha camp was indeed quite formidable. The situation deduced by third Mizukage and the real situation known to Soma from the original storyline cannot be said to be identical, but rather completely unrelated. Soma couldn't help but mutter inwardly, "Are you Detective Kogoro Mori or what?" However, based on the known information, third Mizukage's deductions were surprisingly reasonable. Obito was a rogue ninja of Konoha. Nagato and Konan were members of the Akatsuki organization. Third Mizukage mistook them all for Konoha ninja because Obito had the Sharingan and would release. Having one of these traits, third Mizukage might not have been so certain. But possessing both, third Mizukage believed there was only one possibility that they were Konoha ninja. The planner behind the Three Tails incident was actually Uchiha Madara. Third Mizukage also pinned it on Konoha. Madara's Sharingan Genjutsu and Konoha's ability to restrain the tailed beasts made third Mizukage believe that this was Konoha's plan, with no other possibility. Before long, Ao returned. Mizukage-sama. Ao looked at Skeleton Emperor, feeling somewhat flustered. Hidden Mist Village, which had been thriving and showing signs of improvement, suddenly experienced such an event. What kind of impact would this have on Hidden Mist Village? Could Hidden Mist Village withstand it? Ao had no answers in his mind. Ao, how's the situation? Mizukage-sama, ANBU ninja haven't detected anything unusual temporarily. The place where you were ambushed earlier is now empty, with just traces of battle remaining, Ao reported. I've ordered ANBU ninja to be on high alert as per your command. Third Mizukage nodded. The situation is very serious. If we fail to respond appropriately and promptly, it could mean a disaster for our Hidden Mist Village. Third Mizukage looked towards Ao. Ao, I need you to make another trip for me. Mizukage-sama, what do you need me to do? Go find Genji and have him secretly come to Forging Island. Yes. Genji, one of the elders of Hidden Mist Village. He held substantial authority, second only to the Mizukage within the village. He could be likened to Danzo of Konoha or Cho of Hidden Sand Village. However, Genji's strength was not particularly formidable. He was older than third Mizukage and had extensive experience. One notable aspect of Genji that left a deep impression on Soma was that Terumi Mei was nurtured as a ninja under his faction. While the Bloody Mist policy screened young ninjas throughout much of Hidden Mist Village, Genji's faction seemed to employ different methods for selection. After Ao left, the forging room fell into silence. Third Mizukage appeared weary and weak. Without disturbing him, Soma glanced at the translucent panel in front of him. Reputation, 1352. In an instant, several hundred points of reputation were added. Soma was certain that this increase was due to Third Mizukage using Skeleton Emperor. Just Obito, Nagato, Konan, these three individuals wouldn't bring in this much reputation. It's very likely that some White Zetsu also got wind of Skeleton Emperor's information. White Zetsu were also organisms, human in form. Under the influence of the Divine Tree's power, their bodies underwent changes and they lost their previous memories. Obito had high trust in White Zetsu and rarely concealed information from them. There could even be several hidden in Kamui's dimension. Moreover, creatures like White Zetsu were adept at concealment. There might be one lurking in any pile of soil or rotten wood. Chapter 128, The Fourth Mizukage of Hidden Mist Village. This was the first time Soma saw an increase in reputation, yet he couldn't muster much excitement. Third Mizukage's personal abilities might not be that strong. His actions and decisions were still too radical. But for Soma, Third Mizukage hadn't done anything to wrong him. Despite his warnings being ignored, and according to the original plot, Third Mizukage was already dead. Now, however, he could still cling to life through the Skeleton Emperor. Soma knew that he had basically done all he could. In Kamui's dimension, Konan looked at Pain's decaying arm, with the decay's power continuing to spread up the arm. The entire arm was withering away. Konan had lost some of her usual composure. Pain's Deva path was a puppet, but it was made using Yahiko's corpse. What is this strange power? Nagato, what should I do? Nagato was silent for a moment. Cut off Pain's arm. This strange power can spread up the arm. Only by severing the arm can we stop it. Konan, don't hesitate. At that moment, Obito made his move first. Crack. With a single slash, Pain's arm was directly severed. The severed arm fell to the ground. Soon, under the effect of aging power, it turned into a mass of pitch-black substance. Obito looked at Pain's severed arm on the ground, his expression turning serious. I didn't expect Hidden Mist Village to possess such terrifying power. It decays upon contact and it spreads. Konan looked at Pain, her gaze becoming somewhat complicated. Yahiko, who was already dead, now had one less arm. A hint of guilt arose in Konan's heart. Yahiko had died originally to save Konan. Returning to her senses, Konan looked at Pain and asked, Nagato, are you okay? I'm fine, Nagato controlled Pain and shook his head. But in reality, Pain's severe injuries also affected Nagato. Obito glanced at Nagato and Konan. Despite its terrifying nature, that power can only be used once. Before dying, he erupted all of his chakra, pouring all of it along with his soul power into that ninja tool to unleash such power. If not, he would have used it long ago. After he used that power, I saw that phantom directly shatter. Without surprises, he probably can't appear in that form anymore, completely dead. Obito saw the fear in Konan's eyes, so he said that. Under the guise of Uchiha Madara, Obito naturally couldn't appear weak. But in reality, Obito was also shocked by Skeleton Emperor's abilities. Previously, Third Mizukage's strike not only fell on Nagato's arm but also invaded Obito's Kamui's dimension. At that moment, Obito keenly felt that a corner of Kamui's dimension was collapsing and decaying. However, Obito didn't want Konan and Nagato to see this. Konan hesitated for a moment. But Hidden Mist Village has other people. If everyone can wield that ninja tool and use such power, even at the cost of their lives, they probably won't mind. Impossible. Obito shook his head and reassured, Zanpakuto is different from ordinary ninjato. It chooses its user, and if it's not satisfied with the user, the abilities of Zanpakuto cannot be fully utilized. This is the information I obtained from the ANBU ninja of Hidden Mist Village. Very few people can wield that Zanpakuto. It might even be just Third Mizukage alone. And even if there's more than one, they certainly won't be able to use it many times. They use it once, and it consumes one of their lives. The power seems astonishing, but the spread of its effects isn't very fast. As long as the wound is dealt with promptly, you can avoid further harm from that power. With that, Obito paused. Furthermore, that third Mizukage has a special condition and cannot be controlled by my genjutsu. But third Mizukage is already dead. In the future, the fourth Mizukage who succeeds him will certainly fall under my control. At that time, these Zanpakuto will be ours, so don't worry. However, as soon as Pain and Konan were sent out of Kamui's dimension, Obito immediately looked grimly at the corner where Skeleton Emperor's ability had invaded. What the hell is this ability? It can even corrode my Kamui's dimension. How should I deal with this? Should I cut it off like Pain's arm? But if I do that, it won't just affect the size of my Kamui's dimension, it will also decrease the power of my Sharingan. A decrease in Sharingan power means a corresponding decrease in my strength. Maybe I should retrieve my eye from Kakashi. I need to be more cautious about my actions against Hidden Mist Village. Especially those ninjato. An elderly man, accompanied by 2 young ninjas, arrived at Forging Island. Elder Genji, this way. Ao led the way ahead. Near the forging room. Upon hearing movement, third Mizukage forcibly opened his eyes. Soma, has Genji arrived? Yes. How many? 3. Let Genji come in. Keep the others from seeing my current condition. What about Ao-senpai? Let Ao and the people Genji stay together. Yes, Mizukage-sama. Soma stepped out. Elder Genji. Genji scrutinized Soma seriously. Chief Uehara. Elder Genji, if it's convenient, please come with me alone. Immediately, Soma looked towards Ao. Ao-senpai, please guard the door. Ao nodded. The 2 ninjas brought by Genji became instinctively vigilant. Genji waved his hand. Don't worry, you 2 wait at the door. With that, Genji walked towards Soma. Elder Genji, please come in. The 2 entered, and Soma casually closed the door to the forging room, their footsteps echoing in the spacious workshop. Chief Uehara, what exactly happened? Soma didn't rush to explain. Elder Genji, you'll find out when you meet Mizukage-sama. Approaching Skeleton Emperor, Soma stopped. Genji followed suit. Genji. A familiar voice entered Genji's ears, causing him to pause in surprise because he hadn't seen the presence of third Mizukage. He looked around, trying to locate the source of the voice. Genji, no need to look. I'm right here. With that, a force drifted out from Skeleton Emperor, coalescing into a miniature shadow of third Mizukage. A shrunken version of his shadow. Genji's pupils contracted. Mizukage-sama. What's going on? Third Mizukage looked at Soma. Soma, please explain for me. I haven't fully recovered my strength yet. Speaking even a few words is a huge burden for me. Yes, Mizukage-sama. Soma began to explain. Mizukage-sama said that he was ambushed and K*LLED by 4 Konoha ninjas. After death, his soul attached itself to the Zanpakuto known as Skeleton Emperor. Genji paused. Mizukage-sama is dead? His soul attached to a Zanpakuto. Genji instinctively looked at the shadow of third Mizukage, seeking confirmation. Third Mizukage nodded. Soma continued, those 4 ninjas were all very powerful. One possessed wood release, Sharingan, and space ninjutsu. Another excelled in using explosive tags and paper. Another mastered the chakra absorption technique, capable of absorbing even ninjutsu. And the last one had ninjutsu similar to gravitational and repulsive forces. Genji automatically disregarded the last 3 descriptions because compared to the first, they were incomparable. Wood release, Sharingan, and space ninjutsu alone could individually create a top-tier ninja. Moreover, all 3 abilities are concentrated in one person. Moreover, wood release has not been awakened in anyone since Senju Hashirama. Genji had heard rumors of wood release bloodline ninjas appearing in Konoha, but there was no confirmation. Now, what third Mizukage said, relayed by Soma, Genji didn't think it could be false. Adding space ninjutsu on top of that. Minato Namikaze relied on the Flying Thunder God technique and gained the title of Yellow Flash. When all 3 are combined in one person, how strong would that person be? Genji couldn't even imagine. Could it surpass Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara from back then? Is it the product of a union between the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan? Was the dissolution of Konoha's Senju clan a lie? Was the Uchiha's preservation of blood purity also a lie? Are the conflicts between the Uchiha and Konoha also lies? In an instant, countless thoughts flashed through Genji's mind. Truly, the news Soma spoke of was too shocking. Mizukage-sama at the moment of death, forcibly unleashed his power, injuring one of them, causing those 4 Konoha ninjas to retreat, and the ANBU ninjas have enforced martial law. In addition, Mizukage-sama said that the plan to infiltrate Konoha with the 3 tails Jinchuriki for an explosion was not his idea, but was formulated under the influence of Genjutsu at the time. The person using Genjutsu was most likely an Uchiha. The purpose was to make Hidden Mist Village hand over the 3 tails to Konoha. The 4 Konoha ninjas who came this time also intended to use Genjutsu to control Mizukage-sama. When they found they couldn't control him, they decided to assassinate Mizukage-sama. All of this is Konoha's conspiracy. Konoha has hidden many powers. Not allowing these powers to appear on the battlefield certainly indicates a grand scheme. We in Hidden Mist Village must be cautious. Genji's expression became very serious and solemn. It took a long time for Genji to gather his thoughts. Genji, tell me your thoughts. How do you think Hidden Mist Village can survive Konoha's conspiracy? Third Mizukage asked. Genji remained silent for a moment. Mizukage-sama, can you confirm the information Soma just mentioned? Genji asked. I can, replied Mizukage. In that case, there are 2 things we can be sure of, Genji continued. First, Konoha possesses extremely strong power that we in Hidden Mist Village cannot currently contend with, even though our village has significantly strengthened with the emergence of Zanpakuto and the Shinigami squad. However, the intelligence about Konoha from Third Mizukage now made Genji uneasy. Second, Konoha harbors a great conspiracy, Genji stated. Previously, they used Genjutsu to control Mizukage-sama in order to acquire the 3 tails. Now they've come again, likely not just for the tailed beasts, especially since the 3 tails has not reappeared yet. Konoha probably has other intentions and will come again. The intelligence we have on Konoha is too limited. Our only advantage is that they might not suspect Mizukage-sama, that your soul is still attached to the Zanpakuto after your death. They are unaware that we have this information. Therefore, I believe we can use this to our advantage. Firstly, announce the news of Mizukage-sama's death. Secondly, contract the front lines of Hidden Mist Village. Thirdly, elect a puppet Mizukage. When the Konoha ninjas come again, let this puppet Mizukage be controlled by the Konoha ninja using Genjutsu. Afterward, we can slowly gather intelligence on Konoha, quietly accumulating our strength. Third Mizukage nodded. Genji, your analysis is good. However, there are a few issues. Firstly, hold off on announcing my death. Contract the front lines, but not too drastically. Once Yagura returns to the village, then announce my disappearance. The next Mizukage will be Yagura. Genji hesitated. But would that be fair to Yagura? Only Yagura can do it. No one else, said Third Mizukage. Almost the entire ninja world knows that currently, Yagura is the only person in our village who can succeed as Mizukage. If we choose someone else, Konoha will realize that their plan has been exposed. At that point, Konoha will undoubtedly take corresponding actions. How will we respond? Only by having Yagura succeed will they believe their plan hasn't been compromised. This is indeed unfair to Yagura, but he is a member of the village and has an obligation to sacrifice for it. Once Yagura takes office, the village will follow his arrangements. After Yagura is controlled, the village will change its approach to Yagura. This is to minimize damage to the village and attempt to gather some secret intelligence about Konoha. Absolutely do not tell Yagura any information about Konoha's plans. Chapter 129, Reputation nearing 2000 points. No, apart from the absolutely trusted elders, do not tell anyone else. Genji, this is a life and death crisis for our Hidden Mist Village. I've already reached this point, now it's up to you. You must ensure that our Hidden Mist Village gets through this difficult time. Genji opened his mouth, wanting to say something. However, after thinking carefully, he realized that in this situation, the third Mizukage's decision was the most rational. This is very unfair to Yagura. But it is the best choice for the Hidden Mist Village. For the sake of the village, Yagura must be sacrificed. For the current Hidden Mist Village, stability is more important than anything else. Not a bit of risk can be taken. Alright, Mizukage-sama, I will proceed with the arrangements. I won't tell anyone that your soul is still here, Mizukage-sama. Instead, I'll handle the following matters as if you, Mizukage-sama, have disappeared. The information about the 4 Konoha ninjas and the genjutsu you were under, Mizukage-sama, I will pretend not to know. Genji left. The third Mizukage also fell into a deep sleep. The phantom disappeared, and the soul entered the skeleton emperor. Soma left the empty forging room. Soma. Outside, only Ao remained. The two ninjas that Genji had brought along had already left with him. Soma glanced at the semi-transparent screen in front of him. The number in the reputation column had risen to over 1,500. Clearly, more people had learned about the Skeleton Emperor's abilities during this time. It could have been White Zetsu or members of the Akatsuki organization. Speaking of which, I wonder how many members the Akatsuki organization has now. Before those most famous members, the Akatsuki organization actually had other members. They were just slowly phased out. I didn't expect Obito to be so eager for revenge on behalf of Rin. In an instant, the entire situation in the Hidden Mist Village changed. Even the entire ninja world. Due to the appearance of the Skeleton Emperor, the situation in the Hidden Mist Village will be very different from the original storyline. The third Mizukage is dead, yet still alive. But the third Mizukage has completely misjudged the situation with Obito. All the blame has been placed on Konoha. However, with the plan set by the third Mizukage, the situation in the Hidden Mist Village shouldn't be worse than in the original storyline. If I reveal the real information now, no one will believe it. I just don't know how this change in situation will affect my reputation collection. Soma was somewhat worried. If I had enough strength, I wouldn't need to worry so much. The successive victories of the Hidden Mist Village have raised its overall morale. Facing Konoha and the Hidden Sand Village, it seems to have gained the upper hand. For a while, everyone in the Hidden Mist Village became somewhat complacent and careless. Soma knew that there would be extremely strong enemies in the future, both for the Hidden Mist Village and the entire ninja world, enemies that could threaten his life. But he also relaxed a bit because of these recent victories. Now, Obito's sudden revenge made Soma feel a sense of urgency. The third Mizukage and Genji have pushed everything onto Konoha. What Madara did, what Obito did, it's all the same. So they made such a plan for the future of the Hidden Mist Village. But I know the truth. Konoha isn't really something to worry about. What I need to worry about is the danger of Obito targeting me. Next, Obito will definitely come back to the Hidden Mist Village. Apart from controlling the future fourth Mizukage, Obito hates the entire Hidden Mist Village, so he will definitely target me, the blacksmith of the Hidden Mist Village. After all, I can make the Hidden Mist Village stronger. However, he probably won't use the same approach as he did with the third Mizukage. My location on Forging Island is not at the village's edge. The surrounding defenses are very tight. And Ao Senpai is also on Forging Island. The presence of the Byakugan is something Obito is definitely aware of, so he won't come easily. He won't even dare to let the controlled fourth Mizukage come easily. Most likely, he'll use indirect methods to deal with me. Soma's eyes flashed. As long as Obito, Nagato, and Konan don't all come to Forging Island to attack me simultaneously, I don't need to be too concerned about other means. The chances of something threatening my life are low, it will mostly just cause trouble for me. As long as Obito remains rational, he won't bring Nagato to directly assault the Hidden Mist Village. If the Tailed Beast collection plan is exposed too early and Nagato's abilities are revealed, it will be much harder for Obito to complete the Eye of the Moon plan. Additionally, Mizukage-sama's final strike after his death will surely make Obito wary. I should have time to improve my strength. Regarding strength, Soma is very clear about what he lacks. Abilities, techniques, ninjutsu. Soma does not lack these. The only thing missing is basic attributes. The lottery can provide random attribute points. These random attribute points can enhance Soma's basic attributes. Previously, the key factor that allowed Soma to quickly rise from Chunin to the level of Special Jonin was the basic attribute points obtained from the lottery. After being promoted to Special Jonin, Soma has already done 2 10 draws and 1 20 draw in the lottery. He has gained more than 30 random attribute points. In fact, Taijutsu training, ninjutsu training, and even forging can all enhance my basic attributes. With the help of random attribute points, I am not far from reaching Jonin level. If my judgment is correct, another 40 or so random attribute points should be enough to raise my basic attributes to the Jonin level. At that time, my overall strength won't be considered weak. Overall strength, Jonin. Combined with Pyaja, I'll be even stronger than an ordinary Jonin. Diving into the water, not even Obito could do anything to me. After all, a significant part of Obito's strength lies in his intelligence. Without the advantage of intelligence, Obito's strength would be greatly diminished. And I know the specifics of Obito's abilities. Soma organized his thoughts. His gaze fell once again on the semi-transparent panel in front of him. Reputation has already reached 1,600, not far from 2,000. I hope next time I can draw a better ninja tool blueprint. If I can eliminate this interference with my reputation collection, it would be even better. Land of Fire. Battlefield. Hidden Mist Ninja Camp. A small team of ninjas quickly entered the tent. Uehara-sama. What is it? Despite his age, Uehara still maintained a small stature, looking like a teenager. Even when he tried to be imposing, he didn't have much deterrent power. However, the ninjas of Hidden Mist Village knew Uehara's strength, methods, and character, so they were very mindful of their attitude when facing him. People who lack something tend to be more sensitive about it. For instance, Uehara, because he didn't look big enough, hated being underestimated and treated like a child. Uehara-sama, something major has happened in the village. Mizukage-sama has disappeared. Uehara's expression changed suddenly. What do you mean? We don't know exactly. It seems that an intruder appeared in the village. After Mizukage-sama ordered the ANBU ninjas to impose a lockdown, he went missing. It's very likely that something has happened to him. Don't talk nonsense. Uehara-sama, it's true. I am here under Genji's orders. Mizukage-sama is missing. The village's ninjas have been searching for a long time but have not found any trace of Mizukage-sama. The ninja below said, therefore, Genji-sama sent me to the battlefield. He wants you, Uehara-sama, to issue orders to stabilize the battlefield situation and retreat to a safe area. Uehara-sama, you need to return to the village as quickly as possible. The village needs you. Hidden Mist Village cannot go a day without a leader. After Mizukage-sama's disappearance, only you, Uehara-sama, are qualified to succeed as the Mizukage. Uehara frowned deeply. Hearing the ninja's words, Uehara knew it couldn't be false. The third Mizukage had indeed gone missing. Uehara's feelings became complicated. On the one hand, with the third Mizukage missing at this critical time, Uehara knew that no one but himself could succeed as Mizukage. The former 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist were not an option. Even the current Biwajozo and others were still not enough. Genji, being too old, would not make much sense to succeed as Mizukage. Uehara eagerly desires the position of Mizukage, not just for himself but also for the village. Uehara does not fully agree with third Mizukage's policies, including but not limited to the Bloody Mist. Even before officially succeeding as Mizukage, Uehara has been contemplating in his mind what reforms he would implement for the village and how the village would change under his leadership. However, third Mizukage's sudden disappearance was too abrupt and unexpected. He disappeared suddenly without any signs, much like the third Kazekage of Hidden Sand Village. It's too difficult to make a village's cage vanish like this in a major ninja village. Who could accomplish such a thing? But Obito, Nagato, and Konan are not ordinary individuals. In the original storyline, Nagato nearly single-handedly brought down the entire Konoha. Obito orchestrated the Nine Tails incident, leading to the deaths of Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, and bringing about Naruto Uzumaki's tragic fate. As long as third Mizukage lets his guard down even slightly, the probability of being K***LLED by Obito and his companions is quite high. In the original storyline, Obito, accompanied by Nagato and Konan, came to Hidden Mist Village and used methods to lure Uehara to the outskirts, directly gaining control over him. Uehara was deeply concerned about the village's situation. I understand, Uehara said quickly. Soon after, Uehara made arrangements for the front line. Before long, Fugyuki and Reiga both arrived before Uehara. Fugyuki, Reiga, Uehara addressed them. Uehara explained the disappearance of third Mizukage. What? Both of them were astonished. But compared to Fugyuki's concern, Reiga's reaction was less apparent. Despite losing Samehada, Fugyuki remained loyal to third Mizukage. However, Reiga's attitude toward third Mizukage had already changed. Fugyuki, I'll leave the front line to you after I depart. You can appropriately retract the battle lines, but don't retreat too obviously, or Konoha will surely suspect that something is wrong with us. After returning to the village and stabilizing the situation, I will give you new orders. Fugyuki nodded. Yes, Uehara-sama. Fugyuki then looked at Reiga. Reiga, the Land of Fire front line will rely on you and me. You can count on me, Uehara-sama. On the other side, a team of ninjas also approached Jozo. Two battlefronts, Yagura leading the Konoha side, and Jozo leading the Hidden Sand Village side. What? Jozo was shocked upon hearing the news. Besides worrying about Third Mizukage, he was also concerned about Soma's situation. Is there anything wrong with Forging Island? No. Jozo breathed a sigh of relief. What are Genji-sama's orders? To tactically withdraw, stabilize the situation, and avoid arousing suspicion from Hidden Sand Village. Understood. The entire Hidden Mist Village immediately entered a state of tension. But it's better than Hidden Sand Village. After the disappearance of the third Kazekage, Hidden Sand Village fell into chaos directly. It took a long time to stabilize the situation, and only recently did Raza succeed to the position of Kazekage. In contrast, Hidden Mist Village's handling of the situation was much more reasonable. Initially, Genji, a senior elder with real power, stepped in to stabilize the village. Immediately after, Yagura was called back to assume the position of Mizukage. On the battlefield, Fugyuki, Riga, and Jozo were tasked with stabilizing the situation. Once Yagura returned to Hidden Mist Village and formally assumes the role of Mizukage, overall, the village's strength hasn't declined much. It lost a Kage ninja, but it still has other resources. Much of this situation has been influenced by the emergence of Soma. Of course, this is how it appears to many who are unaware of the true facts. Third Mizukage and Genji are concerned and wary of Konoha as the Third Mizukage speculated. Soma, on the other hand, is concerned about members of the Akatsuki organization like Obito. The patrol frequency of the guard team on Forging Island has increased. Ao has increased his workload. At regular intervals, he observes the entire Forging Island with his Byakugan. Fearful of any invaders sneaking in. Data hasn't fully recovered, but he has returned early from the medical department to the forging department. A figure arrived at Forging Island. Chief Uehara. Genji Senpai. Soma, accompanied by Genji, went towards the depths of Forging Island. They haven't reached the deepest part, but compared to the previously vacant forging rooms, it is much more secretive and the temperature was high. Chapter 130, Green Blueprint, Peach Hermit's Garden Box. Genji Senpai, are you alright? I'm fine. Genji shook his head and said, back in the day, I was also a ninja. It's been a while since I trained, but I still have some foundation. This level is completely manageable. The two pushed open the door and entered a secret room. The skeleton emperor stood against the wall. Sensing Soma and Genji entering, the shadow of the third Mizukage appeared. Genji, Soma. Mizukage-sama. Mizukage-sama. The third Mizukage looked towards Genji. Genji, how are things progressing? I've issued all the orders, Genji said. Yagura is on his way back to the village. The situation on the battlefield shouldn't be too problematic. At the Hidden Sand Village front, Jozo can contend with Pakura, even gaining the upper hand. On Konoha's front, without Yagura, our top ninja are at a disadvantage, but as long as we withdraw bit by bit, Konoha can't deal us a fatal blow. Unless... Genji didn't finish his sentence, but the third Mizukage understood his meaning. Unless those few who attacked me strike again. The third Mizukage sighed. The critical issue now lies in the unknowns of our intelligence. The four of them are indeed strong, but there are ways to counteract them. It's just that we don't know how many more of them there are, or what Konoha's intentions are. However, they haven't appeared on the battlefield before, so the likelihood of them showing up now is low. At least, not so soon. We need to figure out how many of these individuals Konoha has and what they're trying to achieve. Otherwise, we'll be too passive. From the perspective of the third Mizukage, this is indeed the case. Just when he was feeling satisfied with his achievements, he was suddenly attacked and K*LLED, only his soul remaining thanks to the Skeleton Emperor. Such a blow is massive. Soma knew that even if he took the risk and revealed information about Obito now, no one would believe him. But soon, Soma remembered the Nine Tails incident in Konoha. Once the Nine Tails incident erupts, Hidden Mist Village will gain some intelligence from it. At that time, the third Mizukage and Genji will know that Obito and others are not actually aligned with Konoha. Genji, pass on an order to Kagaya Nico to see if he can gather any relevant information. Kagaya Nico. Genji was not involved in the situation with the Kagaya clan. There were speculations before, but hearing third Mizukage say this confirmed Genji's earlier suspicions were true. Soon after, Genji left and Soma returned to the forging room. After finishing the breathing forging training, he glanced at the semi-transparent panel in front of him. Reputation, 2000. Finally reached 2000 reputation points. Without hesitation, Soma started the lottery. 20 consecutive draws, begin. Physique +1. Physique +1. Thug recruitment token X1. Physique +1. Dragon's Jewel X1. Green. Dragon's Jewel. Soma's thoughts stirred, and the blueprint appeared. A surge of information flooded his mind. From the Inuyasha world. By inputting energy, it can evoke a dragon that can fatally entangle the opponent. Soma recalled relevant scenes. This dragon's jewel seems quite easy to use. It only requires chakra input to activate. However, if the opponent's strength is sufficient, they can break free from the dragon's bindings. This dragon is not a real dragon, just a dragon-shaped entity. The ability of the dragon's jewel appears convenient to use, but Soma wanted to see if there was something better. Refresh. The blueprint content changed. A wave of new information entered Soma's mind. The human head cane. Soma. Another human head cane. In the previous green blueprint, the human head cane had already appeared after a refresh. However, Soma chose the lightning blade that appeared afterward. Refresh again. The blueprint content changed once more. Peach Hermit Garden Box. A garden bonsai created by Peach Hermit using senjutsu. It's true to size, 2 meters square, containing a village, mountains, and water, like another world. Approaching the Peach Hermit Garden Box will draw you inside. Eating the food inside, drinking the water inside, will both lead to control, turning people into fools. A senjutsu creation, difficult to destroy. A non-combat ninja tool, unable to form a contract with living beings, needing to be bound to a fixed area. Soma's eyes lit up. Peach Hermit Garden Box. Equivalent to a small world. Difficult to destroy means I can use this thing as armor. Once danger arrives, I can enter it and hide. And if enemies follow closely, they will also be affected by the garden box's power, shrinking in size and entering it. As long as they eat the food inside or drink the water inside, they'll become fools. If that's the case, I can easily K*LL them. It's both armor and a trap. Besides that, it can also be used for storage. There are many ways it can be used. Additionally, this garden box also utilizes the power of senjutsu. If I obtain the materials, there will certainly be materials inside that grant me senjutsu power. Senjutsu in the Inuyasha world and the Naruto ninja world may be different. But there might be similarities. Perhaps I can use this to research the earth core polishing technique. Soma looked at the blueprint in his hand. Maybe this ninja tool won't earn me as much reputation. But its value is extraordinary. It's not something that can be compared to human head cane or dragon's jewel. Soma finalized the blueprint. The blueprint no longer changed and was confirmed as the Peach Hermit Garden Box. Soma noticed that there was no blank hexagram above. This meant that this blueprint's mission was a solo mission for Soma. In that case, I don't need to prepare much. Usually, solo missions aren't combat missions. And my current condition is pretty good. Soma equipped God's Hand and Pyaja. Enter Dungeon Instance. The next moment, Soma's figure disappeared from Forging Island. When he appeared again, he was on top of a mountain. The trees and grass were dense, and the air was fresh. It was dusk at this time. A breeze blew on the mountaintop, bringing a chill. Soma looked up towards the direction of the mountaintop. He had been to the Inuyasha world once before. It was during the last mission for the Lightning Blade. I wonder if Mizukage-sama, now in spirit form, can still be summoned as a fighter. If possible, once Mizukage-sama's spiritual strength recovers, he could provide significant assistance to me. Third Mizukage stated that despite being K*LLED by Obito and his companions, after death, his control over the Skeleton Emperor reached a higher level through spiritual power. He then used the Skeleton Emperor to severely injure one of Obito's associates. I wonder to what extent Mizukage-sama has injured Nagato's puppet. The Skeleton Emperor's power should not be able to infect the main body through the puppet. Even if the puppet was affected, it probably wasn't completely destroyed. The decaying power of the Skeleton Emperor can spread, but the damage can be avoided by promptly severing the limb. In the Shinigami world, Murasame was also injured by the Skeleton Emperor, but after promptly severing his arm, no further damage was sustained, as long as the wound was treated properly. Soma withdrew his gaze. According to Mizukage Sama's own words, staying within the Skeleton Emperor allows the spiritual power to slowly recover. Once fully restored, Mizukage Sama can again use the Skeleton Emperor for attacks. Being able to severely injure one of the pains in a siege indicates the tremendous strength of Mizukage Sama's strike. It's very likely that it has surpassed the level of an ordinary cage. The only drawback is that using it once consumes a large amount of spiritual power. I wonder how long it will take for Mizukage Sama's spiritual power to recover. Soma walked towards the mountaintop. This mountain gave Soma a different feeling compared to the one where Manton was last located. The previous mountain emitted a purely evil and eerie atmosphere to Soma. However, this mountain gave Soma a sense of purity mixed with a hint of strangeness. A figure appeared in front of Soma. More precisely, it was a bonsai. A large, white flower. In the center of the flower, there was a face. An old man's face. White hair, white eyebrows, white beard. The aura seemed very weak. A voice sounded. Instance mission, Peach Hermit's plea for help. Mission reward, materials of Peach Hermit garden box. Do you accept the mission? Accept. While Soma was undertaking the dimensional instance mission, Yagura returned to Hidden Mist Village. Immediately, he met with Genji. After confirming that the third Mizukage had indeed disappeared, Yagura fell silent for a long time. Elder Genji, what should we do next? For now, let's keep this news hidden from other ninja villages. I will swiftly handle the village affairs with you, Yagura. Once you have a good grasp, you will officially succeed to the position of Mizukage. At that time, we will announce third Mizukage's disappearance. Yagura nodded. Alright, I'll go along with what you've said, Elder Genji. I will definitely do my utmost to stabilize the village's situation. Yagura took over the village affairs with great enthusiasm. First was the ANBU. Now that there were no longer the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, the ANBU ninjas were the Mizukage's most important reliance. He arrived at the Mizukage's building. A large number of documents were piled up in the office. Genji pointed to the documents and said, let's start with these documents. Once you've gone through them, you'll have a basic understanding of the village's situation. So many. Yagura's eyes widened involuntarily. Is this what being a cage entails? Genji smiled. This is just a part of it. Yagura nodded. Alright. Soon, Yagura's gaze became firm again. He thought about his situation after becoming Mizukage, and about the changes he could bring to the Hidden Mist Village. He was gradually changing the Hidden Mist Village, making it better step by step. Looking at these documents again, Yagura didn't feel as overwhelmed. The news of third Mizukage's disappearance hasn't spread. However, within the Hidden Mist Village, quite a few people are aware of this information. The village elders ninjas. Various major ninja clans. Kagaya Mizuai looked towards the direction of the Mizukage's building, feeling somewhat worried. Kagaya Niko's actions were confirmed by third Mizukage. Chief Uehara. Kagaya Mizuai suddenly thought of Soma. Chief Uehara is willing to let Nico use the Dragon Bone, showing sympathy towards our Kagaya clan. Also, Kagaya Satoru and Kagaya Izumi are currently serving as guards on Forging Island. If the Kagaya clan can strengthen ties with Forging Island, Chief Uehara should be able to embrace Kagaya clan. While Mizukage is undoubtedly the leader of Hidden Mist Village, Chief Uehara's position in the village is also quite eminent. Soma's position in Hidden Mist Village is indeed high. After the reforms in the forging department, Soma has become a person with real power, a true village elder. Moreover, ninjas who possess Zanpakuto show respect to Soma. It's impossible for anyone to target Soma. The Shinigami squad has already placed those ninjas under its influence, forming a faction with united interests. They stand together and fall together. If any member of the Shinigami squad is mistreated by others, the rest will surely step up in their defense. Moreover, there's Soma. The Shinigami squad belongs to Hidden Mist Village, that's correct. But it's also Chief Uehara's Shinigami squad. I should find a time to visit Chief Uehara. I just don't know what to bring as a gift. On the other hand, the Hojiki clan also received news of third Mizukage's disappearance. Immediately, some members of the Hojiki clan were alarmed. But surprisingly, certain members even showed expressions of delight.
Thanks for listening.